Hello, I'm professional broadcaster Dan McDowell, letting you know that you are about to hear one of our free podcasts. But if you'd like to subscribe at dumbzone.com, you'll get 4 shows per week, plus the weekend wrap-up and any bonus sods like our Business Wednesday interviews. So, if you forgot how to use the 15-second rewind, that's dumbzone.com to subscribe. Now, on to today's program.
The Dumb Zone.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Yes, Feliz Navidad. This from Robert
Feliz
Boyd. I've been
Navidad.
wanting a new car, and
Right now,
Matthew
pay
at
later.
Fairlease
Feliz Navidad.
gave me that white glove service you've been talking about. Super easy to do. Told them what I wanted, and within a week, boom, sweet-looking Chevy Tahoe right in my driveway, delivered by Matthew himself. Danny, their president, worked with me to lower my payment. Highly recommend. This from Robert Boyd, but it could be you. If you just swing on over to fairlease.org, where you get top market value for your trade-in, appraisal over the phone, and you get to save money and a peace of mind with driving with a warranty. Don't buy the car without leasing it. Drive now, pay later. 0 money down, no down payments for 60 days, 36 to 60-month terms. This is the best way to buy your car with Fairlease. Lease it first, then buy later. 10K to 30K miles per year. Fairlease. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Fairlease Navidad.
The Dumb Zone.
What's the latest? Just on the Saquon thing.
I just got a text that Chicago's driving the price up and Philly's out. I don't know if that's true or not. Which I don't know if I'll make a couple of calls. I don't even know if that's gonna happen, but
I have a tough time sleeping if Saquon goes to Philadelphia. I'll tell you that. As I've told you, just being up. I've been around enough players. So, but he's the most popular player we have by far.
yeah.
Alright. I never listen. I'm gonna listen.
Hey now! Happy Monday to you and yours if you celebrate. You can still write 2024 on your checks. When's the last time you wrote a check, Blake? Like handwritten. Have you ever?
We had a class project in 5th grade where we had to balance a checkbook, and I think that's the only time I ever did.
You never actually filled out a check otherwise?
No. Maybe I did, to help my parents or something, just to calm me down in the grocery store when I was a kid, but no, not. I've never written a real check of my own.
I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Blake Jones.
Filling in for Jake today. Go ahead.
I'm Kevin Turner.
That's right, Kevin KT Turner, who's hardest working man in Dallas sports media.
Just ask him.
That's all he talks about.
I don't think I've ever said that.
Did a podcast yesterday on the One Star podcast show or whatever it's called, the Cowboys thing, and after the game, did a doing a little fill in today, and then going over to 105.3 The Freak to do his afternoon drive radio show, or what is it, 90?
It's 97.1 The Eagle.
The Eagle.
What?
You've worked at all those places, though.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So, anyway, Monday program here. Show number 289. We broadcast from high atop my garage. We have a couple of sit-ins present, a couple of sit-ins on the way. We have with us, we have Jonathan and Travis are high atop my garage. What's your deal? Oh, do they have a mic or no?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Oh.
How about that?
These are not closing remarks. This is just, hey, what's your
opening
deal?
remarks.
Our deal is we're from Grapevine, Colleyville. We don't live here now, and this is our Christmas gift to each other to come hang out with KT and Blake and Dan, of course, as well. But it's really for KT, right?
They booked it. They booked it in March. And they've just been waiting for a KT show.
Yeah, okay.
And
Finally.
I said, the best we can do is December 30th. And they said, we'll take it.
feel like we could have knocked this out in the summer if you guys wanted to, but I just wait until I'm summoned.
Well,
Do you have anything to add there, Travis?
Just happy to be here and see the den.
Okay.
Feels voyeuristic.
Travis lives in Colorado. Our dream.
Oh, okay. Should that be our dream?
It's pretty nice. Yeah, I grew up here and moved there and never came back. So
Why are you faking a marijuana cigarette right now?
Is that a big deal there? Does it all smell like pot?
yes, yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if I'm for that.
Did you bring us any?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how the show goes, but I think
oh,
so.
We got to earn it.
All right. Well, we should do a weekend check. The weekend check, couple of quick spots on today's show because it's brought to you by Community Mechanical. That's your HVAC. You know what that means?
HVAC?
Yeah, if somebody says that. What does that mean?
Something air conditioning.
Yeah. It's like the heating, air conditioning, all that kind of stuff. I don't know what HV stands for. Anyway, these guys are great. They are a new company. They've kind of broken off to start their own thing. They're fighting the man, of course. And they came out, what they want to push now is like the maintenance.
Hell yeah.
Preventative maintenance.
Big
so
fan.
I thought that, I'm not a big fan of that.
Why?
Well, so I just didn't care. They told me they were going to do that for my house. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So they came over, and in my attic, something had become dislodged at some point, and like a hose or whatever. And they were like, it's pretty good deal that you had us come over here because that's toxic whatever was coming out.
No.
Like, it's still probably getting out of the roof because the attic isn't well, but, they're like, that would have been a bad deal had we not come and caught it. I mean, it could have been really bad.
This is why you need preventative maintenance.
Yeah. So they'll kind of check everything, make sure, we had filters. Apparently you have to change the filters.
Yeah, and they want them to, wanted you to change them every 1 month, 3 months, something
well,
like that.
whatever it is,
crazy.
but they'll do it. They
okay, good.
They're coming in for it. They're going to do a 6 months maintenance type thing every 6 months. Anyway, it's communitydfw.com. Community Mechanical. Now is the time to get your HVAC fixed or checked out or the maintenance. They are huge listeners, great dudes, and they're trying to make it in this world, and they will. CommunityDFW.com.
And Travis doesn't even need in your attic. He can just reach all the way up there because he's so tall.
He's extremely tall. 6'7", 6'8"?
Something like that. I don't
Anyway,
know.
469-667-7290 or CommunityDFW.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Dumb Zone. I have a quick weekend check because I don't want to. I mean, it's been a long time. You have anything, KT? Only that I know that you've been filling in for us, so thanks for your fill-in work in the last week.
Yeah, I feel like my remaining vacation days have all been doing Dumb Zone podcasts. Like I've been working, I think, every day. Did a couple shows with Danny and Jasmine.
Are you doing more this week?
I think tomorrow and Thursday.
Okay, nice.
I think is the plan.
You know what I thought was interesting? So they did the show Thursday. And, so Tuesday and Friday are exclusive content behind the paywall. We don't do any advertisements.
Okay.
Monday and Thursday are air quotes free, but it's nothing in life is free, right? We
Sure.
It would take a minute out of your time every half hour or so for some hilarious ad reads. So, Jasmine is like, she does sales for us. She is a salesperson. Like, that's her main thing. But because she's Jasmine, she can do a lot of things. She can fill in. She can host. She can talk some sports. She does picks with us on Friday. Mm-hmm. And so I was talking to Jake before, these guys were going to fill in. And I said, Jake, do I need to talk to Danny about doing the live spots on Thursday? He said, don't worry about it. Jasmine is filling in. If anybody's going to make sure the live spots get read, it would be, I mean, she's the one that gives us, the traffic and continuity sheet, and she fills out the copy and the traffic means what days and when the how many spots air and all that kind of stuff. And so I listened to their show.
Oh, no.
I was like, that's interesting. They didn't do any spots at all. Because remember Monday I was talking to you and said, I was going to do them all on Monday and thought, no, they're filling in.
Yep.
They'll do the, we don't have to overload Monday. So we have to.
Do we have to do make goods?
Make good. We will have to give some extra love
She
to
just
some
got
of the sponsors.
So excited to talk sports with Danny and KT that she forgot.
Jasmine's there.
Yeah.
I just didn't think I had to. Anyway, I don't really. I can't blame you.
Not me. I'm not allowed to take part in any of that.
Yeah.
Can I ask why KT gets to wear his shoes up here?
Oh, no.
I didn't even know. He just showed up and walked up.
This is only my second time here, so sorry.
Did you take your shoes off the first time?
Luckily, I wore my Harambe socks today, though. That's good.
Okay.
So, yeah.
KT's a walking bit.
I didn't mean to out you. I just thought.
No, you've outed me.
Why do
yes.
you get special circumstances?
I did not notice, but I'm sure he's never walked in a dirty bathroom.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't have to walk outside to get in here.
No.
Yeah, but just leave it over there by Jake's area. My real quick weekend check was, so I picked up food for the family, as I do nearly every night, or at least we go out to eat. Went to Chiloso.
Love it.
Okay, you a fan? You know Chiloso?
I've been
Tacos,
twice.
Bowls,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Came back home. This was just for me and my daughter. And she ordered like the nachos or whatever, and it didn't have any queso. It was missing queso.
That's kind of the point of nachos,
It's a
isn't
big
it?
part of the nachos. And it was the listing, so the receipt just listed all the stuff, lettuce and whatever, and it said queso on the side. So that was part of the whole thing. She got a tub of queso. And so I went back. And she's like, you don't have to do that. It's like a 15-minute drive back. So a half-hour round trip.
Had it been your nachos, would you have driven back?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, like she couldn't believe I was doing it. I go, look, this is my theory with the interns or whatever. It is true that the restaurant messed it up. And the restaurant does mess things up occasionally. But I had a chance. It was my fault. I should have looked in the bag. Should have just taken a quick peek.
Mm-hmm.
And it was stapled and all that, and you think, these guys have their act together.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. And so again, it is their fault, but I had the opportunity. I was there. I could have checked, and knowing, hey, I just drove 15 minutes to get here. I have to drive 15 minutes back. If I have to do this again, it's going to be a whole,
Mm-hmm.
Like I should have, for myself even, to protect it. Because, again, when we send an intern out for lunch, I ordered this. Now, if there are other circumstances that lead to that not being there, I now blame the intern.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just ordering this. And so I considered my daughter ordered this. And anyway, so I went back. And so I go back. It's like half hour later. And the guy kind of gives me attitude. And he wants to look at the receipt, and he's looking at it real close. And I'm thinking, okay, let's take a step back and pretend that I am scamming you.
It's a lot of effort for some cheese.
So for what I did is a $32 order or whatever, the $36, for 2 meals. I'm going to pay that. That includes the queso on the side. I'm going to go home, drive home. He doesn't know where I went. He just knows I was gone for a half hour.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave your restaurant for a half hour. Then I'm going to come back in. And I'm not going to say, hey, you forgot the nachos or you forgot a $15 item. I'm going to say you forgot the side of queso that would have been $1.49 or whatever you charge.
Good point.
But actually cost you, 12 cents?
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing across DFW to every Chiloso. And I'm going to end up with 7 quesos at the end of the day. It's going to be what do you think he's hemming and hawing and kind of really looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my customer service.
Did you give him any lip or
No.
no?
Because
Okay.
and my wife, my gosh. See, this is why you need a Karen in your life. I have a Karen.
Yeah,
It's great.
but you're beginning to learn the beauty of it.
Because she will say, "Oh, I just had to drive all this time, extra time.
Yeah.
How are you going to make, I've heard her say it.
Yep.
How are you going to make this right?" And I'm like sitting over there, my head down, like, and then I'm happy because she gets 2 free meal coupons or something, But no, I just accepted the 1 queso, just thinking, is this guy going to give me anything else? And whatever.
Would
It's
you like
fine.
Would you like to tie it into my mistake today? Is that why you were building?
What'd you do?
I got your order wrong.
Oh, no. I wasn't even thinking of that.
Okay.
That's
I
fine.
thought it's like you give the intern like the little side little side project. If they can't get it right, then they're probably not a good intern.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have gone back to Eatsies. Maybe I should have checked the bag. I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's all
forgot
right.
your broccoli.
It's not a big deal.
Oh, the most.
I wasn't
important
saying
part.
that all to refer to that,
Okay.
actually.
I thought you were.
No.
What about Christmas?
I mean, it happened.
Y'all just stayed here?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Didn't do anything?
Where would I go?
Wasn't great?
It was Christmas. It was good,
Did you do presents?
Yeah, what are you
Okay.
saying?
I don't know.
It's
I'm
Christmas.
asking how your Christmas went.
But I have 2 girls that are, high teen, early 20, 21 and 19. So it's different.
Did you watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
We watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
And you watched the first one last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said we're not doing 3 because 3 sucks.
Okay.
Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was actually it was a horror/comedy, and it was fun. Yeah.
That's their Christmas tradition.
That's a little insane.
My daughter is like a film major, and she's also really into horror.
Okay, has she heard of the Terrifier?
I don't know, but I'll write it down.
I learned of this through One Star Cowboys podcast friend Kent. You know Kent Garrison?
Yeah.
So apparently there's a movie called Terrifier 3 or something. So I'm guessing there's a 1 and a 2. And apparently people are seeing the first scene and it's like made people like vomit and stuff because it's so insane. And it's really just a guy going in and killing his family and other people on Christmas Day.
Totally normal.
Like they're opening presents. Is your daughter into stuff like that? I mean, Kent described it as a slasher film.
I'm sure she would be. I will ask her about it.
Because Kent watches every single movie known to man.
Okay.
But I'm not really into that. I haven't been into like the horror thing since high school when you thought you could take a girl to a movie and she might get scared.
Yeah, she might hug you.
Yeah, I've never been
Yeah.
into it, but I think her and her little buddy like watching it. They view it all as comedy.
Yeah, I
fine.
think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
I like some of those psychological stuff. Saw 1 was fun,
I loved, yeah.
and then it turned into torture stuff, and then that's not fun anymore. When it's a game, though, and a puzzle, I'm in on that. I like games, though.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
torture
me.
stuff's only fun if it's like rated X. Then that's really fun.
And it's your stepsister.
I do have some TV. I'm probably going to save it for Friday because we got a lot of football stuff to get into today. But I did. I watched the. Who's the guy that runs wrestling?
Vince McMahon?
The Vince McMahon documentary. I've been watching a lot of TV. Finished up the Aaron Hernandez program.
Did you see the Vince McMahon meme in it?
Oh yeah.
The throat cut?
Oh yeah.
I like when you see things you've seen a million times actually in context.
I didn't know anything about him. It's really interesting. You mentioned guy killing his family, and that was one of the last things in it. Was the Chris Benoit?
Oh.
Apparently, this wrestler who who at first they didn't know what he did. They just knew he died, so they started like a tribute to him.
Oh no.
And it was like this touching thing because apparently if any wrestler dies, the next day they always will dedicate everything to that wrestler, no matter what. And so they were in the middle of this show touching dedication to how great Chris Benoit was while news was coming out on other stations. So they have this live event, and then news is coming out on other stations that actually he strangled his wife, smothered his son, and then hung himself. Which really shows that you could really do a lot without a gun. Because he could have made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But he was for gun control. So that's you got to applaud him in that.
So I've got family that lives here, so my Christmas was very busy. So Christmas Eve, we went to her family side, and it's an all-day thing. Like, you have lunch, and then you do presents, you let the kids rip and romp around, and then you do dinner, and it's just, it eats your whole day. But I particularly had fun on that day because it's the one event a year that the brother-in-laws have to go to.
So usually they just bail out of everything.
Normally, I walk in, the two wives are there, the brother-in-laws are not there, and I'm wondering, how do I get on their level? They're able to just get out of everything.
So these are I don't know if you know the backstory of his brothers-in-law suck. And so Blake, even when he's a bad husband, looks great.
All the time.
Like,
it's awesome.
These guys are losers, they got crappy jobs,
and it's been a roller coaster because
they're just bad people, right? I don't know about bad people.
I don't know about bad people.
They do things. They don't do attentive things to their wives at all, right?
No. Yeah. I get to hear about all the times.
Like, you'll take your kid to a birthday celebration even without your wife, and they'll just never even show up to it at all.
Right. So this initially upset me because, when I started dating my wife, I was trying to do things with her family to look like the good guy.
Yeah. I
want to try to fit in. And it just made me mad over time that these two guys didn't have to do dick, and they're just a part of the family. So I thought that's a little unfair. But I'm now finding out that it's actually a good thing because they are just they're never around.
Yeah.
They're not great to begin with. And so, I look like the anointed one just by being a decent person.
Does it let you get out of stuff, though?
That's what I'm trying to figure out because I'm stacking all these credits and I don't really know what I'm going to use them for yet.
Like, would it bother your wife if you didn't show up to her side of the family Christmas?
I think I have enough tokens saved up that it wouldn't. But if I didn't go to anything like they did, it would upset her, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of got to do that. Like, that's the one you have to do.
You have to show up.
The one, yeah.
But they don't. And I think it's amazing.
God, that is kind of awesome.
So, but they can't get out of Christmas. They can get out of Easter. They can, find a way to get out of Thanksgiving. But Christmas Eve, they cannot. And so I just loved watching them just sit there in the corner on their phone, just giving their wife the eye of, like, when can we leave? And I kept trying to rope them into stuff.
Yeah. Do you like going to her side of the family stuff?
I don't hate it.
I've learned to love it. We gamble and play a lot of games.
Yeah, you kind of.
Food's always great.
Yeah, you kind of have to spin it to where you can have a good time. But no, I don't hate it the way that I used to. So that was good. Watching them squirm a little bit. Christmas Day was my family. Same thing. If we could just kind of cut back on how long these things last, I think it would be great.
They are long.
Let's limit it to one meal, and then let's all go our separate ways.
And is it a reheating?
And let's get that meal early. We don't need to start the meal at 7.
Then
we're going to be there till 11.
Christmas Day was rough. We had like an 11 a.m. breakfast brunch kind of thing, and then a dinner at 8. It was just
8, yeah.
It's too long. It's too long.
Is there a lot of people sitting on the couch and yawning and kind of falling asleep?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of sitting around.
Yeah.
Did you do NFL?
Yeah, I did some NFL. Had a nice little Christmas Day nap.
How was your Netflix going? Mine was not. It was not a seamless experience.
Oh, like buffering?
Yeah,
like the fight?
Yeah, there was just some bad stuff going on.
A lot or just a little
bit?
Yeah,
just a little bit. It was tuning in late and then rewinding type thing. I don't know. It was a little weird.
The reports were that Netflix they had a stumble out of the gate, and then they had a little bit at the end of the first game, but everything else was good on their end. So this could be a you problem.
Yeah, maybe.
It's good to know.
I know they were bragging about the
ratings,
audience size, and all that,
yeah.
and somebody else pointed out, like it's 20% down from last year. They did not get a bigger audience than last year.
How did they know?
Which was on. What do you mean?
What do you mean last year? Like Christmas Day games?
Yeah, they had
last year?
Christmas Day games. Yeah,
that were on
network TV.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, it was just. It's funny because Netflix famously doesn't release their numbers unless they want to brag about something. Like, that's the only time they ever do release numbers on anything.
Pretty genius.
So Brooks got a bike for Christmas,
Okay.
and I mean he's got training wheels, but he's already like he loves it. He's riding around the neighborhood, and I thought because Jake's big thing is kids don't learn to ride bikes anymore. Is that true?
I think it is true, like in general percentages. Kind of like percentages, more kids are not driving as quickly.
Yeah.
But you might have one kid who's real stoked on driving when they're 14 and one who waits till they're 17.
I guess that's true. There's a ton of kids on bikes in my neighborhood, and Brooks picked it up quick and loved it, and I don't know why that would have died, I guess. But then last thing, this morning, kind of got back into my routine. I hit my coffee, my gas station coffee, because I have a drink subscription. And I told these guys last time that I was in the store when this lady dropped the ball on everyone that she had lost a couple kids in December, so she's not the biggest fan of Christmas.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I was like third or fourth in line that day, and I don't know if she saw me. So I wanted to see if she did this to everyone, and so I asked her today, how was her Christmas? And she said the same thing.
Yes.
So that's the thing she gives everybody.
Yeah.
So
hey, how was your Christmas?
I would think this is making her December even worse by bringing this up to everybody.
Telling everybody?
Yeah. How many people know this story about her now?
Everybody at this corner gas station, I guess.
Damn.
But I try to play.
Is it Phyllis?
I
thought you said it was Phyllis.
Yeah, I think so. Connie's my favorite, but yeah.
Well, Connie's got all her kids.
But not all of her teeth.
She's wearing a Santa hat.
Yeah.
Coming in bragging about, I don't want to ask Phyllis anything.
No.
I never want to talk to her about anything.
No.
I can't wait to see my kids for Christmas.
Or just complain about your Christmas. Like, oh, man.
My kid.
I got my mom, in fact, this really happened to me, gave me a book I already have. And then I got on the phone with my mom that morning, and she's like, how'd you like your... love it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to read it. Yeah.
What are you going to do? Yeah, return
you gotta
it.
Do that. You got to lie.
Yeah.
Well, I might return it. She sent the gift receipt, which was nice of her. Or I will give it away. Oh, also, I went and picked up the Dumb Zone calendar.
Okay.
I got a few for you as well from Raymond. And I hadn't seen this yet. Apparently, you can still go to whatever the website is.
Dumbzonemerch.com.
Is it dumbzonemerch.com?
Yeah.
I mean, it's on our website, dumbzone.com, or E6 Sportswear. Anyway, we got a little centipede in there.
Yeah, I haven't seen this either.
Some stuff, yeah. Anyway, I got a few for you as well, but I wanted to mention I got it. This is probably the key to the whole calendar. The centerfold.
Wow.
Is Chappie.
Chappie on a motorcycle in front of a CC's.
Picture Chappie holding a Coke in a water glass.
With a shirt that says Chappie.
Yeah, there's a lot of inside info on that particular thing. So, all right. Well, we can't avoid it anymore. Well, we can.
Do whatever we want.
The wonderful world of sports. Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
We will talk Cowboys. And I want to make an announcement. Because I've been thinking about what we're going to do for the NFL playoffs. Because we should do something, shouldn't we? We have one more Cowboy game.
Yeah, are we streaming that?
We're streaming next weekend. Or is it Sunday afternoon?
Yeah.
Do they have a game time yet?
Noon.
I hope it's oh, good.
Yeah.
I was about to say I hope it's noon.
Yeah.
They put all the bad games on Sunday with no playoff ramifications at noon.
Okay. Well, that's great. We're going to live stream that on our YouTube page. Game watching parties are still kind of fun. It might even be fun next week. Because we could just talk for the whole game about what the One Star podcast was talking about a lot today, yesterday, was Mike McCarthy's future. Because it does seem to be the one thing that is up in the air. And maybe that's the whole reason that he's not playing Trey Lance? I don't know. It's very confusing that they get this game going, and we're watching Cooper Rush versus Kenny Pickett. Like, at least Trey Lance. You know what? I'll get into the Cowboys in a second. But I do want to finish up my big announcement, which I veered off of, which was, I believe that in this year's NFL playoffs, we should go to my adopted team, which I am now rooting hard for, to get to the big game in February, if it's not in March yet. Let's just cover Baker Mayfield, shall we? We did it last year.
Yeah.
Didn't we do Baker versus Dan Campbell?
We did.
After the Cowboys got bounced?
That might be happening.
He's kind of the official quarterback of this show.
So stream every Baker game?
Yeah.
As long as they go?
Sure.
If they win Sunday and Minnesota beats Detroit Sunday night, then we have Dan versus Baker.
Ooh.
So
perfect.
It's kind of
It's
set
another
up.
a Dan Campbell versus Baker again?
If the Vikings
They
beat
have
the
to win in
Lions
Detroit?
on Sunday night, yeah.
Okay,
because
they'll get
that's
the
for the
seed.
1 seed, yeah, and
Okay.
the loser is the 5.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
What an exciting game.
A 13 or 14 game-winning team is the 5 seed on the road.
So Baker has to win Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
They could still miss the playoffs.
Yes.
If they lose and other things happen. But it's likely that they'll be in. If they just didn't lose twice to Atlanta. Baker loses some weird games, man.
Well,
He obviously throws 5 touchdowns.
Kirk Cousins had almost 1,000 yards against the Bucs alone.
Yeah, that was the only team I think he was good against this year. Like, he's been terrible.
How did they lose to the Cowboys?
That's what I mean.
I mean, what are we doing?
It's baffling. How did the Cowboys beat the Steelers?
Mm-hmm.
How did the Cowboys beat Washington? And then how did the Cowboys come out and look like they looked yesterday? Just absolutely horrible. Let's say Cowboy Talk brought to you by Elite Rides DFW, because kind of when I think of a Cowboy game, that brings up Elite Rides DFW. Luxury and reliability. And they're great for going to like a Cowboy game or a Mavs or a Stars game, or let's just say sporting events, special occasions, concerts, or business travel. They have a fleet of clean, comfortable vehicles driven by professional chauffeurs. I've driven in Elite Rides DFW a couple of times now, and they're fantastic. They cover the entire Metroplex. They are at eliterides-dfw.com. They have a variety of sizes. So they got the huge SUVs, so you can go to weddings and parties and milestone celebrations, maybe a nice bachelor party with Elite Rides DFW. 1-844-RIDE-DFW. Tell them you heard about it from your friends here, or eliterides-dfw.com. Promo code DZ15, 15% off your first ride. Somehow this game, it must have been because of Christmas, and then Friday, and then Saturday. But I was surprised to see the Fox A team on this game. We got Third Leg Greg and Bro Davis.
Well, the B team, right?
Brady's A.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gosh darn it.
It's tough.
Yeah, Brady was on Packers-Vikings.
That's
That was a
right.
good
Okay. I'm like, why am I watching the A team here? I forgot that Greg, I really like Greg Olson, man.
Yeah.
I like that he's going to Twitter a lot and disagreeing with things that will happen, or giving these opinions that the A team didn't cover well. Like, he had a good hot take on something that happened in the Packers and Vikings game.
Really?
And Brady and Kevin Burkhardt didn't really know what was going on, because the Packers went for 2 to be down by 9. And as it happens, Olsen's like tweeting, I love that they're doing that. I mean, he's getting that A job back once Brady's out of there.
Okay, this doesn't make sense to play now, but I'm going to play it now. And this is why I love Greg Olson. Because, like, this isn't about hot sports opinions about the game or anything, but so they are in time-killing mode. I don't even know if they do this if it's not 30-7 or whatever it was at the time. But it was like another punt, and then they decide, this is the time to do a tribute to some guy who died. Okay? And it was I marked this at first because it was funny to me that there's a brawl on the field during this touching tribute.
Now, Bill Berge, the legendary Eagle, passed away this week. We send our
I never heard of
wishes to his family, prayers and wishes to the Berge family.
I don't know that this makes it during an exciting game. They're like, what do we got? Here's why I like Greg Olsen. Listen to Greg Olsen.
Yeah, after that play, scuffle going in the corner here. Flags have flied.
There's this huge brawl going on. You didn't hear Greg Olsen. Like, Romo has to throw in his two. Like, if Nance does a thingy like that, Romo's got it. Like,
let's not compare Greg to the worst color commentator we have going.
Great former Eagle that, like, even he knows he doesn't know anything. And Greg Olsen is like, look, I don't know anything about this guy. This ain't my game. I'll let you do the touching tribute stuff and pretend that you're sad over a guy you've never heard of either. So pro Greg Olsen at least there. Give me that.
I don't know. I'm not going to let you compare him to the worst. Do you think Brady says anything about this guy?
I don't know.
Well, then let's go to the mid-level. Does Mark Sanchez say anything?
Sanchez
I think everybody lower
Jonathan
does.
Vilma.
I think they do.
Well, we're about to have another dead guy after this brawl. Sanchez would at least try to be funny.
Yeah. He is kind of funny.
Is he?
He doesn't get any good games.
I haven't seen a lot of fun Sanchez games.
He gets the worst games. There's something about him I kind of like. I don't know.
He flies a little loose on the games.
I don't get the NFL Sunday ticket anymore. That's probably why. Like, so I don't get all games. I just get the top games.
I think the last time I remember Sanchez from the Romo hurt year.
And just red zone clips here and there. You get the
yeah.
No, he was the Romo hurt. In fact, Dak back then was talking about how Sanchez was instrumental to his development.
Or the Dak hurt,
because Romo wasn't around much.
Yeah.
So here's the big problem I have with starting Cooper Rush.
Before you start, can we pause for sit-in?
All right, we're unpaused. How about that, technology, KT?
Yeah.
That all happened in 1 second, but now there's somebody else sitting on the couch. We welcome Ann and Bill. Bill, right? Ann's running a little late, but she's a lady. And we changed the time on her.
That's a far drive, isn't it? It is. They're over by me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, Blake will tell you how long he has to drive every day.
That's not true.
Anyway, what were we just talking about? Oh, Cooper Rush. So and while we're talking about third leg Greg, I also thought he had a good point later in the game. And it's what I was thinking throughout the game, even in the beginning of the game.
And it's fourth down, and here comes the punt team.
A couple times now we've said this about this Dallas offense. You're down by 20. Just go run, smoke screen. And now I think if Turpin catches that, he's got some action. If he's able to secure the ball, but they're going to have to push this thing. They haven't shown any signs now with Tanner McKee coming in. We'll see, can they get some stops? But this Dallas offense has to start generating some plays down the field. It's going to have to come through the air.
Now, he was saying that because they were down by 20. I was saying that kind of in the beginning of the game. Like, what are we doing here? First of all, what are we doing here with Cooper Rush? And once you are in the game with Cooper Rush, we're just, okay, we've discovered that Rico Dowdle, we should have actually been using him from the get-go this season. Okay, now, but you're acting like this is a game that I don't know what you're acting like. There's no innovation in the offense with the, I guess, the slight, they're using turpentine at tailback nowadays sometimes, occasionally. There's some innovation, but it took them a while to figure out that this is a dangerous player that you need to get in the open field at times. But that's the definition of Trey Lance, too. If Trey Lance has anything, it's he can make things happen. He can be a dangerous player in the open field. He's probably not a pocket passing quarterback. But let's see what he does have. He might be one of your 3 or 4 best athletes on the team.
How many plays do you think are in the playbook for Trey Lance? 10? 15?
None.
Well, no, yeah, exactly, because there were no we had some systems in play or whatever. He was saying some packages that they would use. Like, they should have had 40 or 50 plays ready to go the day they traded for him.
Well,
but this is the whole thing, is they get him, they see him in practice, they understand that he sucks, and then they realize that they just threw away a draft pick. Dude, I think the 49ers, when they got the phone call from Jerry going, hey, we'll give you a 4th, I think the 49ers started cackling.
They couldn't believe it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We'll take it. And the Panthers probably did the same thing with Mingo.
Hell, what did Baker Mayfield cost? A 5th?
Yeah.
Or like a conditional 5th or something, like the conditional 6th that would turn into a 5th?
The funny picture going around right now is Baker and Sam Darnold like jogging before a game, both in Panthers uniforms from like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
as they continue to search?
It's crazy. But yeah, no, the Cooper Rush thing though, like if you want to, you want him to open it up though, he will throw it into triple coverage, 40 yards down the field. I mean, like,
I don't think he's good. I don't think Trey Lance is good either. But yeah, let's bring him in and do something with him.
I agree.
Like get him on there out there at the same time as Cooper Rush. What does it matter now? Show that you have some kind of ingenuity. Why do we need you, Mike McCarthy, as offensive genius if you aren't coming up with any wrinkles that aren't hand off twice and then hope that the running back got 3 or 4 yards on those plays?
I think it was 3rd and 6 on the second drive of the game, I think it was 3rd and 6, and we did a handoff. And no, that was right there in the second quarter. But 3rd and 6, and we're just like, okay. Like, dude, McCarthy annoys me for many reasons. And I'm a Packers fan, so like I've seen too much. I hated it when he was hired here. He is a guy who's a very proud man. He is a guy who thinks he's done nothing wrong. And like he's a guy who thinks the offense is never his fault. He doesn't like answering questions about the scheme. He thinks it's all good. If we do this thing my way, then it's all going to work out. And he's got a really good winning percentage that he can just lean on forever. But Mike McCarthy is not going to change anything he's doing. So if they bring him back, okay, have fun. I think it's hilarious. Do you want me to play the Jay Glazer thing now? Should I do that now? Or
what do you got?
So Jay Glazer's on the Fox post-game show. With Mike McCarthy, you should know 2 things. There are 2 reporters who are very tight with Mike. One is Jay Glazer. The other is Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, who used to cover the Packers. He's the guy who did the Barn Puff piece on the NFL Network.
And the massage story?
The massage story, that's a different guy. That was I think that was Tyler Dunn, I think.
Yeah, he's not tight with that guy. He's
okay.
That's the guy who said he was getting massages when
yeah.
teams were having meetings.
Yeah, during some of the offensive meetings. Yeah, he had a massage chair in his office. It's probably not as cut and dry as he's missing meetings to get a lot of massages. Probably happened once, But either way, it's funny. But here's Jay Glazer on the Fox pregame show yesterday.
What's Mike McCarthy's future?
Look, Mike McCarthy, actually, him and all the coaches, their contracts expire in 2 weeks. So Jerry Jones is going to sit down with them, obviously, probably the week after the season ends there. But if they decide not to do something with Mike McCarthy is actually on other teams' coaching lists if the Cowboys decide not to re-sign him.
I think he will be the Cowboys coach next year, and he deserves to be the Cowboy coach.
Really?
Okay.
Why is he still on there?
and then they get
which one?
Terry.
Terry's definitely a bit.
And then they lose 41-7. Bring him on back. I think it's really wild that over the last month, let's go back to Thanksgiving, it's been a big attitude of, dude, these guys are fighting for Mike McCarthy. I mean, what he's done to this locker room and to really galvanize these guys and win some games, giving another extension. And I'm like, well, how come they weren't fighting for him in September and October? Like, you lost to the Saints at home by 30 points, and then the Ravens, and then the Lions, and the Eagles have smoked you twice. Aren't we trying to be like the Ravens and the Lions and the Eagles? There's our measuring stick, not there. And it's not all on him. We all know it starts with Jerry. But there has been a small percentage of people, I think, come out of the woodworks over the last month and a half who will defend Mike McCarthy a lot. And I don't know if that's like a smart thing to do. We all know it starts with Jerry in building the roster, but also maximizing that. The roster, you can't say it all starts with Jerry's a big problem. If they won 12 games the last 3 years, well, then Jerry should get credit for that then, too, rather than saying it's all on him. Now, I think the 12 wins thing, I'm still in this for my buddy John Machota, but he's like, it starts with Micah. Once they got Micah, they started getting 12-win seasons. But I think it's really strange that now we're talking about him having leverage to choose his job next year because so many NFL teams want him. Where's that been? That's out of nowhere, and that's from Mike McCarthy's buddy, Jay Glazer.
Well, let's take a look at that. I mean, we've talked about this before, but teams that will be looking for a head coach, definitely. Jets, Giants. Chicago is one we kind of said maybe.
Ben Johnson.
Maybe. No, I know Ben Johnson is the hot name for Chicago, but that's one that might want McCarthy. Like, he seems Chicago-y. He feels Midwest-y. Just looking at him, he's a big old boy. He'd be back in that division. He has helped develop or, been the hand at the helm for a couple of good quarterbacks.
Old owners who don't know what's going on.
Now we have, they know him, though. You know, people that know, we used to face him twice a year, and they beat us all the time.
So Jerry did.
Yeah. He ushered, a young Aaron Rodgers into stardom. We have a young quarterback we'd like ushered into stardom.
I like it.
Whereas the Ben Johnson thing, I feel like if there is a argument to be made for what team would really want Mike McCarthy, like why would the Jets or Giants? They don't have a quarterback. They're both going to be looking for it. He's not like I want to be part GM like a lot of coaches. Cleveland could be looking, but that's just a big mess. That they wouldn't go for McCarthy. Indianapolis, now that they've failed again miserably at the end of a season like they did last year, they keep barely missing the playoffs. Shane Steichen could be out. Jacksonville definitely, I think, will be looking. But would they want McCarthy?
I mean, they've got the other version of him with Peterson.
How did they win the Super Bowl? How did Doug Peterson and not even Carson Wentz, the backup of
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
How did they win the Super against like the greatest coach and quarterback of all time?
That's a shocking one to me.
Vegas, they don't want McCarthy, right?
No.
I doubt it.
I would think they'd be a little more young, splashy.
Cliff or something.
Dion.
Yeah.
Dion, Cliff, Ben Johnson. Although Ben Johnson, it feels like he's going to be able to pick where he wants to go.
Yeah.
If he goes anywhere, he may stay.
He just stayed last year, right? Over Washington. Wonder if he regrets that now, knowing that they got Jaden Daniels.
Who knew, man? No one knew Jaden Daniels was going to be awesome.
Yeah. New Orleans is my other team.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, McCarthy coached there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he's got the choice to go wherever he wants, like Glazer's reporting, he's got leverage. So if Jerry doesn't want to give him an extension, he would go choose any of those jobs. Are any of those jobs better than the Cowboys job right now? No.
Based on what? Because honestly, I think he's pretty tired of this Jerry Jones circus.
Well, then he can go back to being unemployed then. Like, we're in a world where he didn't want... The Browns were going to give him the job if he kept Freddie Kitchens as his offensive coordinator. And he said, nah, I'm not doing that. And the Browns said, okay, we'll go away then. He interviewed for the Jets job. Well, they get a phone call from Peyton Manning. It's like, you got to get this Adam Gase guy. Adam Gase takes the Jets job. And then we go to the barn, and he ends up here in 2020. And then he admits in the opening press conference that he didn't watch every game and every play. He just wanted the job. I mean, there are good things about Mike McCarthy. I mean, it's not like I'm crapping on the guy. There are good things about him, like structurally, but he is not going to be a guy who's going to be open to letting someone else come call plays. That's why he kicked Kellen out of here. which looks bad now. Like, the Saints have no cap, so he wouldn't go there. They're in terrible salary. The Bears might be a decent job.
That is funny on the Kellen front, how he booted Kellen out because he didn't run the football enough. And then Kellen is about to set the league record for rushing yards in a season.
I mean,
now it helps to have Saquon in that offensive line, but still, it's funny.
When he was given, because the way this went down last year too, the season ends after the terrible Packers game, and everyone thinks, look, this is over. And I do contend if the Packers win that game like 17-10, Dan Quinn's probably your head coach this year. But when you're down 27-0 and the defense looks awful, Dan Quinn's not even in play anymore. But Mike McCarthy sits there, they do their evaluations, they clean out the lockers, and Jerry takes 5 days like always because they have the way they've done things since 1991 or whatever, and they do it that way. And then he announces that he's bringing McCarthy back. And then there's a media availability in a press conference. And Mike McCarthy says in that press conference, buy into us. Okay, so we're buying into the Cowboys. We're back for another year. And you guys do nothing in free agency and then have a 7-win season or whatever it is. And most fans wanted it to be a 4-win season at some point because they didn't care. It's amazing. He's amazing to me because he has gotten by on Aaron Rodgers getting hot that 1 year in the playoffs in a year that they shouldn't have even made the playoffs. Like, they were the 6th seed that year when there were only 6 playoff teams because Deshaun Jackson ran back a punt in another game that, like, I think it knocked the Giants out of the playoffs and put them in.
Which is the worst thing for the Cowboys because that is another sign that happened like a couple years in a row. I think the Giants did it 1 year too.
Yeah.
Where the last playoff team to get in all of a sudden wins the Super Bowl. They get hot. The quarterback gets hot. And that's why Jerry is content to be 8-8, 9-7, whatever. Now it's adjusted. There's one more game. But the point is he just likes to be in the mix. And they've famously said, just get in the tournament because then anything can happen. Well, yeah, true. But that's their mindset. For instance, it was their mindset going into this year or going into last year's offseason. You had 2 teams, the Eagles and the Cowboys, were both very, very good. And the thought was, what do we do then moving forward? We're both very, very good here. One team is like, let's just keep loading up. Let's keep adding. Saquon Barkley is available at nowadays running backs. Like, you can really get running backs for this amount of money. Like a guy like this just a few years ago would have cost us, I don't know, let's look at Zeke's contract. Yeah, that's a terrible, but I can get Saquon for cheaper than that. Let's go with Saquon Barkley. You see Baltimore, but I'm just talking about Philly and Dallas right now. And then you had one team that said, we're really, really good. Well, I mean, even if we don't add anything, even if we subtract a little, we'll probably still be pretty good. And this was my argument for why they'll make the playoffs this year. 7 teams is just too much. There's always going to be a bad team in the playoffs. Even if the Cowboys fall off a little bit, they're going to be in the playoffs. And that's what Jerry's thinking. And if you just get in the playoffs, well, then anything can happen. Remember Aaron Rodgers? Remember the McCarthy? I mean, Jerry might look at it as McCarthy led a team that barely got in the playoffs to the Super Bowl. He could do that again. So why do we add if that would take from our cash reserves? Let's not do that. Let's drag our feet on the negotiating with Dak and CD so we can legitimately tell the media we don't have any cap space. Well, wait, could you have cap space? Like Jalen Hurts is – I printed this off. Where is it? Their cap situation. You know, Jalen Hurts makes like $200 million or whatever, that huge contract. His cap hit is $13 million this year. Where Dak's cap hit when free agency was going on was what, 40, 50 at the time?
Yeah, something like that.
Excuse me, because they didn't do, they didn't negotiate the long-term deal as of yet to bring the cap numbers down in the first couple years like they do on these deals.
This cap number's 90 next year. Whoa.
Dak?
I mean, they'll
obviously they're going to mess around with it,
yeah.
But yeah, and Jalen Hurts' cap number is probably 75 years from now.
Yeah.
But they'll mess with that. And they just keep pushing these things down. There's ways to work this. I heard you guys even, or Machota was yelling about, you can't just spend. It's true, you can't just spend anything, but the Cowboys could have.
Well, choosing who you
they could have. Same thing with CD. CD at the time was looked at as this is going to be $30 million this year. Yeah. So we can't do anything.
How did they get the Trayvon Diggs contract done in time? How did they do that before the deadline?
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs could have waited till he was the highest paid corner, and they didn't. He ended up getting hurt the year after they signed him, and now he's going to miss half of next year too. That looks like a bad deal. They gave Michael Gallup money. Okay, he plays a year, not very good, recovered from injury. Then they cut him. He signs with the Raiders and then retires. They chose to pay a guy who retired a year later. They make bad decisions.
Jalen Smith.
Dude, Michael Gallup was a terrible decision. I mean, that was because of the Amari Cooper trade, yeah.
Yeah. But that was the Amari Cooper and Stephon Gilmore, those moves, we love that. 5th rounders for those guys, wonderful. Oh, not the Amari was but Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. Sorry. Yeah. It's okay, you almost made up for the Amari Cooper thing by doing that. So it's not like they can't have those conversations. It's not like they're completely inept. They're lazy. They're just content. They don't turn over every stone to make things better. And that's a McCarthy complaint for me. I don't trust that he is going to turn over every stone to fix the offense or make it better. I just don't think that is going to happen. And combine that with the ownership, and we've got a shit show.
Well, not if it's not his idea.
Especially
Lance could have perhaps at least given some spice to the offense, but because he didn't sign off on the deal, he's not going to help Jerry with that.
Mike McCarthy is the Dak of coaches. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, man.
If everything is perfectly in place, if you've got studs at every position, if you've got the highest paid guard, tackle, center, tight end, receiver, quarterback, then we can start talking. Otherwise, any of that falls off, and I don't know. I don't know how to do different things. That's why you see the exact same offense run when Cooper Rush comes in.
Mm-hmm.
They're different players with way different abilities, we should hope, if you're paying one guy that much more. Yet you still kind of run the exact same offense because that's what we expect. I'm running the offense as if I have Saquon Barkley at running back.
I'm a little surprised he didn't stand up and tell whoever he needed to tell, we're not giving Zeke any carries. We're going to give Rico the ball 15 to 20 times. But maybe he didn't see it, and no one thinks Rico is Saquon or Derrick Henry, right? But the idea that Mike kind of kept quiet on that in a contract year was a little interesting to me. There's the other two very interesting things about McCarthy. One thing I cannot stand is the fight argument, though, that the players have been trying harder. Dude, what NFL team has quit? The Giants had the number 1 pick, and they went and won yesterday. You can't even find an NFL team that has quit.
He scored 45.
Right, because the players out there are fighting for their own jobs.
Exactly. So the idea, a lot of people have been throwing out there, they didn't give up on him. Well, okay, they did their job.
I'll tell you what, a player that is not fighting for his own job, I thought, quit a little bit yesterday. And that's, did you notice that play with, what's his name, our guy, Micah? Which play was it? I think it was one of their touchdowns, or was it the touchdown that was called back?
There's been a couple plays where Micah has either looked aghast or hasn't tried his hardest. And I'm choosing to say he was tired.
8:47 left in the third. Philadelphia touchdown, which was called back for holding. Now, this is when we've already lost Kenny Pickett. Okay?
Yeah.
And then some guy named Tanner McKee comes in the game. Apparently played for Stanford. I searched this on internet, if you guys are wondering how I know so much about Tanner McKee. I'm done with my knowledge on Tanner McKee right there. I've just given you all of it. So he comes up and lights up this vaunted defense that's not quitting. But I guess this is still Kenny Pickett maybe. The touchdown called back for holding, but watch Micah kind of give up. He's getting double teamed. Watch the play. 8:47 in the third. And he just kind of stands there. then this is the play, actually, that knocked out Kenny Pickett. So oddly enough, Micah ends up knocking him out of the game on that play. But he might have got the sack had he not kind of just – watch him just stand up. He just stands and stops running because he was rolling in the left side of the pocket. Micah's kind of getting double-teamed on the left, which would be, Kenny Pickett's right side. And then he just stands there, and then once he has to scramble back the other side, then Micah, re-engages and actually knocks him out. But the point is, not everybody's just loving. We already knew that Micah didn't love Mike McCarthy because of the comments he made earlier this year.
He's got his back again yesterday.
What do you mean?
Did you see that?
No.
Well, it's okay. I mean, I think you guys have covered this, but a couple weeks ago, remember when Dak did an interview randomly from his car?
Yeah, with Jory.
And basically said, yes, we want Mike back. Mike should get another chance. And then Micah has said that yesterday. He said that McCarthy is his dog and hopes that he's back, saying that it's not fair because everyone got hurt and he didn't get a clean run at this, even though it's year 5. I mean, it isn't like – yeah, go ahead. As I say, like, isn't every – I assumed everyone just realized, look, it's been 5 years. Let's just do something else. No matter if it's better or worse.
Yeah, I think Jerry, obviously he hung on to, Garrett for so long because he wanted that to work real bad until it just became just too obvious it wasn't. And then kind of the same thing, 3 12-win seasons, they're right there every year. And that'd be a lot. Especially, they're not going to bring in a Ben Johnson who has all these ideas about the way they want to do things. Because things are done a certain way here, and that's just it.
And would a Ben Johnson want to come here anyway? You get the most mediocre quarterback. You get a somewhat diva wide receiver. You got no running backs. You got a real up and down offensive line. You got Jerry Jones over your shoulder. I don't know if this is a premier coaching job of the NFL anymore.
Well, again, let's say he has to pick between the Jets, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, the Giants, Chicago, New Orleans, or the Cowboys. Let's say he had those options. Which one would you take?
Yeah, probably the Cowboys.
You have Dak, you have CD, you have Micah. None of these other places even have quarterbacks. You're talking the Colts with Anthony Richardson.
Do you argue that Jacksonville does? They just paid him.
Yeah, Jacksonville does.
Cleveland's the biggest mess. If you got brought in like a Shanahan where you got to also be the GM, and I realize they have John Lynch, but Shanahan hired, it was the same as the Belichick thing. The Patriots, did they always have a GM or no? Yeah, they had like Scott Pioli and whatnot. Yeah, Belichick, though, was the GM. But he would hire the GM, ensuring that's the way your coach gets the players he wants. Like, it's a better system, really, if you think about it, to have the coach. You're not the GM because that's a lot of work, but they should be kind of working at your behest. I like it. I like the Belichick-Shanahan system of the coach really is in charge of the GM. Because the coach is so important in football. But I'm just looking at obviously, the ability to start your own thing. But if you believe Caleb Williams is the real deal, that's probably the job.
And he might be in a position. This is why I don't buy that other teams are craving Mike McCarthy. This is the PR machine working for him again. He hired a new agent, by the way, Don Yee. Tom Brady's old agent. He hired him before the season started. And then just to see the Jay Glazer reporting that in Week 17 that he's got leverage to be like a free agent. Okay, so you're telling me if Jerry calls Mike McCarthy into the office after next week's game and says, look, we'll bring you back as long as you turn over the offense to a new play caller, a new offensive coordinator. Mike McCarthy has got so many options out there that he could tell Jerry, nah, man, I'm good. I'm just going to go ahead and take another job. I don't think Mike McCarthy has that.
I thought we just got rid of a play caller because we needed Mike McCarthy to do it. Now we're going to do the other thing this year?
I mean, he's had 2 years, right? Although in the first year, Dak was second in the MVP voting, right? So that's another thing about Mike McCarthy's offense that's very, very weird to me is like it'll go weeks being stagnant, and then it'll have these little microbursts of 5 or 6 weeks. You're like, man, the offense is cooking right now. We're doing some new things. But I don't know, as a, watch all these teams or whatever, but as a Packers fan, good God, the offense looks so different and great and new every week with Matt LaFleur. We see new stuff every single week, and we don't see a ton of new stuff here. And when we do, it's little things, and it's deciding. Like, how have they not thrown a slant route to Turpin again from the slot? How has that not happened again?
Good point.
Like, the one time you tried it, he scored on it.
It's like get him in the open field a little bit.
And just move him and use him. And he doesn't have good hands. Like, he's not a great receiver. But he's one of your tools that you could use, and it just doesn't fit what he does. And that's how it's going to be. But I think it's very interesting that a week before Black Monday, we've got one of his buddies going on the pregame show and being like, hey, he's going to have options. You guys look out. And it sounds like it's all on Mike. It's not all on Mike. Mike is fine. Go coach the Saints, dude. I don't know what to say. Like, this is the most lucrative franchise in all of sports. It should be nothing but the best. The other thing is the highest paid coaches. Like, Andy Reid makes 20. McVay makes more than 10. All these guys make between 10 and 20. McCarthy makes $4 million a year. Jerry is really excited about the cash savings he could make on bringing back Mike McCarthy. And that's why I think it's happening. I absolutely think he's back. I think it'll be like a 3-year deal. I think he's back. I think Zimmer's going to retire and hang out with his hot model. Like, even like you were maybe feeling good about the defense over the last month before yesterday. Zimmer may have got it all together. Zimmer did a press conference last week, and he's like, man, I'm just kind of tired. It's been hard.
Oh, really? Okay. So
it's been tough this year,
man. The thought
man.
of sliding him over into the captain's in between the pipes, that's not going to work.
Yeah, if Mike McCarthy gives Jerry the finger and goes to another team. Because that's the scenario, I think. I don't think there's a scenario where Jerry's not considering. They don't even want to interview anybody.
Well, I never thought Jay Glazer. I thought he was kind of like a true insider. I don't like the guys that you could just tell their CAA, ties or their Clutch Sports tie. That's why they report a certain way. That's too bad.
I think he's pretty good, but that one was too the McCarthy's. He's been around too long. It's easy to track his footprints here. And Pelissero's the other one, and he will always have a positive and glowing review about McCarthy. When these reporters go on and editorialize now too, especially Pelissero.
Yeah, and that's because he's a text buddy, and he gets them inside info.
They smashed the watermelons, and that is what led the Cowboys to victory.
Right.
I mean, that was 3 years ago.
They brought in,
but a real thing.
Is it Gallagher? Who does that?
We were honoring the great comedian Gallagher. I think he said we were honoring him. I think he had just died.
Trey Lance did get in the game.
Yeah.
Immediately airs it out for 2 yards. Then he was able to hand it to Zeke, who plowed ahead for another 2.
If you want to preview it next week, there you go.
And then, if you're wondering how does Trey Lance finish this, he then ran out of bounds for a sack.
That was not a YOLO ball at all, man. Dude, throw it.
He escaped a couple guys. You did have a chance to avoid loss of yardage and throw it away. But yeah, since with that great athleticism, he used it to escape 2 sacks, to run out of bounds, to actually get them a sack. Just no player got it.
I mean, look, we can't be hard on him. Small sample size, right? Oh, no, that's his entire career. He's played like 100 snaps of football in his life, and he's 26.
Kenny Pickett wears gloves on both hands.
Well, that's because they're too small to grip the football.
So it makes his hands bigger?
It gives him better grip.
Like he gets the M&M costume from Halloween and wears those big gloves.
Yes. He's wild. He was a first rounder. Forget about that.
He was a first rounder? Yeah. Late first round?
Yeah, Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a Pittsburgh kind of a strung out,
went to Pitt,
drugged guys.
He did the fake slide thing that was cool.
Oh, that's right.
And
when he was at college.
Yeah.
For some reason, he looks like a West Virginia quarterback to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But
he kind of looks like a goober.
The guy they brought in, Tanner McKee, the funny moment was when A.J. Brown caught a touchdown pass and then launched it into the stands.
That was awesome.
And then Tanner McKee's over there, oh, that's my first touchdown pass.
Mr. Brown, you threw my ball.
They went and got it back and negotiated.
Yeah.
That was
Did you
a
see
good
who?
bit. Huh?
Did you see who had to go negotiate?
Who?
Dom.
Oh, they sent Dom?
The security guy.
I did see the picture when the fan was mouthing like, I got you.
I got you.
it was sweet.
It was all so Philly.
It was awesome. The tush push even works with Pickett and no Jason Kelsey. Why doesn't every team do this?
Other teams try.
And how come they can't? Like, how does this work? It works from 1.5 yards away. It's not just a couple inches. Micah's getting horny on that play.
Yeah.
Offsides a couple times.
You almost have to be offsides to stop it.
It's amazing.
I think it has to be a guy that's under the age of like 26 or 27. I do think
Like
is that
Dak can't do
like
it?
Stafford and
Kirk Cousins can't do it.
Kirk Cousins probably can't explode.
But the QB sneak, Brady was 90% at the QB sneak. And he was 40. You're just trying to find that little spot.
It's for sure a winning play, and we see a lot of 4th and 1. Just there's the predictable handoff to either side, or try to roll out and.
Or the crazy pitch.
The crazy pitch. Oh, yeah, let's get wide here.
That's what Zeke did, I think, on his first carry, didn't he? It was 2nd and 3 from the 5, and Zeke lost 4 yards.
I like the one with the tight end. Well, we don't, and the Cowboys don't do that, but the tight end runs like he's in motion and then stops right behind the center and takes the snap. And then you find out that the tight end was like a quarterback in high school, so he knows how to get under the gooch and get the ball and plow ahead.
What will Zeke's last play be? Because next week is his last play, right?
Yes, which sucks because we had the perfect last play.
We had the perfect last play for Zeke's career. They'll never let him do that again.
I hope it's an extra point, and he gets to kick it.
He gets to kick it.
Yeah.
Brandon Aubrey, off the upright. Boy, Joe Davis acted like, ooh, 61-yard. Did you hear when he... Let's see. Where did that...
How about this distance from Aubrey? 61 yards.
Like, I don't think that's that exciting for Brandon Aubrey.
It's not.
Yeah. It's well established now. He makes them all over 50.
Yeah.
And he just needs a chance for the record. He's going to get it at some point.
And he wasn't hurting for yardage. That hit pretty far or pretty high up on the upright.
Oh, yeah. They kept remarking on that. The doink... The
game, the early pick six. Listen in.
They had that microphone on there. That was awesome. And then my last note that I wanted to bring up was the Troy Pride is a player that plays for the Cowboys.
I did not know that.
You familiar with him?
No.
Yeah. Did you see, though, when he got taken down by Sidney Brown, like back of the end zone, and he got tackled? Not just tackled, but like body slammed down past the artificial turf on the cement. And then, like, multiple ejections happened after this. And Sidney Brown, the wrestler who slammed him onto the cement, then is complaining to Lady Ref about like, what are you doing, dude? Like, he might have hit you first somewhere along the line, but I don't think you can complain about this ejection. Like, if it feels like that was a really, really obvious one, dude. We all just watched you slam the guy on cement.
It was pretty funny watching her try to separate people. and the old guy, I mean, the old ref got trucked in that as well.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Sidney Brown had so much hair, too.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're doing the "it wasn't me" thing or whatever, too, you're like, dude, you're the only guy with hair that long. That was fun. There wasn't a lot of fun stuff in the second half, so that was fun.
Oh, and I guess the other notes are that Rico got 1,000, which,
Hell yeah.
Not that impressive and not that exciting, but
I think they're building a statue outside the Star.
Yeah, they should.
But of course, the 2,000, that's still a big deal, Saquon, and he does it in 16 games.
Yes.
Boy, it sets up perfectly for next week.
Who do they play?
They have
The
Washington.
Giants.
Oh,
the Giants. Okay.
Giants, yeah.
He could break the record against the Giants.
Well, there's a question, though. Playoff seeding is set.
For them.
Boy, I think you go for it.
I mean, he should have gone for it yesterday.
You have an older running back, though. You have your sights certainly. Let's say this is your team. What do you want? Like, we want to see him try and get it.
The record. Yeah.
You want it for your team?
Yeah. Of course.
So you want more tread off those tires heading into the playoffs where you hope to play 3 more games?
I mean, that was... you'd think that record would never be broken. And then Saquon's first year with your team?
I don't think anybody was saying that net record never be broken.
Really?
Do
The way
you?
the running backs are going and the running games are fading?
Dickerson's record was on a 16-game schedule, and this would be a 17-game schedule.
Yeah, you'll always have that. But
Although Dickerson broke OJ's record, which was on a 14-game schedule, so it's always... And we're going to go to an 18-game schedule eventually anyway, so...
Yeah,
it may not matter. But.
It may not matter. I would not... I didn't understand... When they pulled him yesterday, I was like, they should at least... They pulled him early. Like, there was still, to me...
Was it the fourth quarter yet?
It was early fourth quarter, which means... When you're playing the Cowboys, there's still a good 50, 60 yards out there for you to get.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you could make next week's game be like, okay, we just need 40 yards, you could knock it out and kind of have the best of both worlds. So
I would think
was
he would
confused
want
by
to.
that.
I mean, it's the Giants.
I saw him on...
They let him go.
Yeah, he might. He may not think like that. I saw him get asked about this yesterday, and I forget where. Because and he was just like, I haven't really thought about it. 2000's cool. And he did the generic, I'm just blessed to be in this opportunity. Football was a dream as a kid, which made me think he's not playing next week. But to need 101 yards, that's going to take a half, at least, against the Giants, I would think. Maybe more. I thought they could have knocked off 50 or more yards yesterday and then make it easy next week. It's an easy decision. Yeah, we'll play him for a minute.
I just have one thing from the post game. It's from Micah. And you're alluding to that play where he kind of gave up. I think he got hurt on that play.
Okay.
He said he took a shot to the ribs from Saquon. I think that was the play that you were talking about.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't excuse, him stopping, but I think maybe that led to it.
Okay. I stand corrected.
I thought he had
I
a
love
really
Micah.
funny answer here because they were, I think it's Sod here, sets him up. You've been 12-5. No. Go back. The difference in the game. Just why did the defense give up so many plays?
I mean, you look at their play, they had 2 big runs and 3 good deep shots. Other than that, we made them earn it, and you take away the
So if you take away their 5 touchdowns, we were right. We were right there. This whole answer is really.
I mean, you look at their play. They had 2 big runs and 3 good deep shots. Other than that, we made them earn it, and you take away we really take away the scoreboard. It was about 5 plays that decided this game, and you hate to say that because
guys, just take the touchdowns away.
That's all you have to do.
take away the scoreboard.
He's great. He will say anything.
He just spins it. This I only pull this because I want to play you something else from McCarthy. I'll go out of order. Here's McCarthy. Of course, the last question. McCarthy, by the way, did not talk very long after this game. Typically goes about 15 minutes. He went 6. This is how it ended.
You went to trade late. Did you think about going to them early?
I did the series before, yeah. So.
And just looking next week.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, Clarence, I'm not there yet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the reporters pining. Can we see more Trey? I don't know.
I don't think he'll play much next week.
Lance?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
if he wasn't playing this week, why would he next week?
Yeah.
What's the point?
I think they'll go Cooper for first half, maybe he'll play second half, maybe.
But why? Again, though, there was no reason to play this week.
I mean,
there was no reason, and then you're down by 20 at the halftime anyway.
Jerry yesterday before the game, he does the Christy Scales interview, And he said something like, "This is a huge game for us. You know, it would mean so much for these players and this team moving forward into next season." I'm like, you mean on the roster that'll have 30 new players and probably?
I think he's right.
Should be
I
a
think
new
the
coach.
momentum that you could have built up starting yesterday would have been great.
You know what? Maybe momentum is a thing because the team started this season like ass. So, and they definitely ended last January like ass.
So they tried to get McCarthy to answer a couple big picture things like that. You know, how do you go from 12 wins 3 years in a row to this? Is it disappointing? And he's all like, I've got one more game. I'm not thinking about the offseason yet. He's just kind of in the moment. He understands there's one game left. Micah, on the other hand.
One, we're going to have to get healthy. I mean, we got, 3 or 4 starters who aren't coming back to mid next season. So we got to plan for that. We got to get healthy. We got to keep coming together. It's going to be a tough point, but as far as the division, I mean, it's going to be tough. I look at Jaden James as a franchise quarterback, so I'm going to be facing him for the next 18 years of my life. And you got Hurts, who's a franchise guy, so he's,
Then he just runs down the division.
He loves it.
The Giants are going to get their guy in the draft, and he's just talking big picture. And
he loves the NFC, dude. He loves the NFC.
I love his knowledge of football, man.
Yeah.
He knows the rest of the league. He's watching games. He's obviously reading contract negotiations.
I was really mad that the Giants won yesterday because I really wanted them to just get the number 1 pick and take Shador.
No,
let's just have a fun division.
Yeah, it would be fun.
And then they won. Like, idiots, what are you doing? You didn't have to do that.
Drew Lock. That's why you don't want to play Drew Lock, man. Is the other guy hurt? The DeVito? Why isn't DeVito playing?
I think DeVito was just their tank plan.
Well, yeah. Why aren't they still in that mode?
I actually think he got hurt, yeah.
They were all tied.
Yeah, or enough to not, I don't know, maybe they're trying to win. I don't know.
No, they're not trying to win. I got a little audio. We'll end Cowboy Talk with a little audio. Pam Oliver.
Oh, no.
Great.
Not so pilled up, I don't think. I think the early game helps Pam.
Oh, yeah?
She was not sundowning. So here we have a term I learned after the debate this year,
Yeah.
sundowning.
The Rizzler.
The first one was kind of funny just because something was happening behind her, and she can't just do her report without it.
Yeah, Joe, Kenny Pickett, who is dealing with a rib injury, comes into this game fully confident that he and his experience will be an asset for the team today. What is happening? Pickett started 24 games for the Steelers.
So there was a replay going on, and they showed it later, like Greg showed it and broke it down. And like one of the Cowboys players just pushed over Pickett was rolling left, looking for a receiver, and the receiver / running back, somebody was in the flat there, and they just pushed him down. Like, hey, what if
Devontae Smith?
You can't throw to him now, and the crowd was reacting to that. But I just thought it was interesting. They only threw to her 3 times. And I want you to try and decipher what prep she did this week, okay? So the first report, I just want to let you hear the beginning of the first report again, and then we'll play the second report. So this is the first report.
Yeah, Joe, Kenny Pickett, who is dealing with a rib injury.
Oh, okay.
So, and this is what she's had all week to prepare, because this is her first opening report, right?
Right. But this is the first report was...
Yeah, Joe, Kenny Pickett, who is dealing with a rib injury.
Okay. Just want you to... That was the first report. They sent it to her again.
Yeah, Joe, Kenny Pickett settling in nicely into that second half. I asked Mike McCarthy, what do you do to get him out of rhythm, disrupt him a little bit more? He skipped the question altogether. He was too furious with his own team, saying, we cannot turn over the dang ball. Edit. As far as Nick Sirianni goes...
okay. So I think she's intimating there that he...
He probably said damn ball.
He said a bad word. But, again, let's just remember... The way she started the first report was like this.
Yeah, Joe, Kenny Pickett, who is dealing with the...
Okay, her second report.
Yeah, Joe, Kenny Pickett settling in nicely.
Her third report.
Yeah, Joe, when I spoke to Kenny Pickett this week, I asked about the severity of
his rib injury.
What did she prep this week? She talked to Kenny Pickett. And
on a Zoom on Wednesday.
That seems about it. Now, we have another character that we followed throughout the years. We like to call him Third Leg Greg because that's what he rapped about when he was in college, about his third leg being he was impressive, apparently. Something to do with I can't relate. Anyway, so we've also noticed that he sometimes will talk in a choppy manner, and it seems that he would even pause where it's not totally necessary at times. And that's the way he talks when breaking down a play. We've called him Buffering Greg. So while he's talking, occasionally it stops and the spinning wheel happens and then it starts back up again. You gave me one that I heard early in the game, but I don't count this as Buffering Greg. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to tell you why I disagree with it being Buffering Greg.
Okay, and I'll tell you why I hate it.
Well, there was so much talk about how the game changed against Washington last week when Jalen Hurts went down. But remember, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he was ejected for 2 personal fouls. And you see him here, he just falls off Jake Ferguson. And Cooper Rush just flat out doesn't see him and hits him in the face mask. And he's able to outrun the offensive line. And you can tell he was disappointed to leave that game last week. He felt like he let his teammates down in the fourth quarter down the stretch and makes a big play here early.
Okay. Where I don't really call that Buffering Greg. He only had one real buffering. It was when he falls off and said something. But when he can throw a but and
I hate that.
And he will throw that in there, which indicates I'm going to keep talking. Don't interrupt me.
Yeah, I'm not done.
But it also does tell you I'm not done. Whereas this, I think, is true Buffering Greg without the ands and the buts.
And Kenny Pickett, he was a little slow getting up. Watch the hit here. Comes in late out of the right side of your screen. Just so late. I mean, Odighizuwa just took like 3-4 steps before he made contact there in the pocket with Pickett. And goes from looking like it's going to be a Deron Bland pick, and now they march off 15 yards, and they're on the plus side of Dallas territory.
Yeah, that's Buffering Greg in its truest form. I just can't stand when he's ends every single syllable with but.
Yeah.
Every mistake that Brady makes is getting amplified now, though, because Greg is seen as really good. Can I play you a Tom Brady mistake?
Please.
This is at the beginning of the game yesterday, Packers-Vikings.
Yeah, it's a big road challenge. They've got 4 losses this year, Green Bay does. 2 of them to the Lions, they're a good team. The Eagles, they lost to them, they're a good team. And they lost to the, who'd they lose to the other one? Anyway, they got a big opportunity today.
And no one goes in and corrects it.
Interesting.
And then there's another one, too. I got to say, like, Tom Brady says the word sack's weird. Have y'all noticed this?
No.
Well, they've done such a good job in protection today. Sam may have a little sense of comfort that at some point you got to get rid of the ball. He's held onto the ball quite a bit this season, and he's taken a lot of sacks. I think almost
Sacks.
Just sack.
Sacks.
I don't know. It's kind of fun. Who's the other team that they lost to? I didn't prep that hard because I'm making a lot of money.
That's right. He needs a Bob. Troy Aikman pays Bob on the side.
Still? To this day? Even on Monday night?
I don't know.
I miss Troy and Joe on
Stop yelling at
Sundays.
me. All right, the Cowboys are bad.
The Dumb Zone.
Pop-Tart Nation, how we feeling? I want to welcome everyone to the trophy presentation for the 2024 Pop-Tarts Bowl. We are being doused with Pop-Tart confetti up here. Sharon Line Cleary, Florida Citrus Sports President for awarding the 2024 Charles H. Rowe Trophy to the 2024 Pop-Tarts Bowl champions, the Iowa State Cyclones.
On behalf of Florida Citrus Sports and Pop-Tarts, congratulations to the Iowa State Cyclones on winning the Pop-Tart Bowl.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Should we have Pop-Tart Bowl talk later in the week?
Man, I didn't know it was that bad.
A lot of stuff going on there, which is pretty vague. Hey, we got a buddy who has been up here, Lane Ingram, and he has been a licensed professional counselor for 14 years. Good dude. Likes to work with other DFs. You can book a session with Lane Ingram. Mention the Dumb Zone. If you don't like him, he'll help you find a therapist that you do like. All the sessions are done via telehealth. Rates as low as $120 per session. He's in network with most Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance plans. Send him an email, lane@upsidewellness.com. You can text him 512-900-5805, or his website is upsidewellness.com. Lane Ingram, DF therapist and good dude.
No puppet.
So later in the week, we're going to do a show Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Jake will be back. KT, you say you and Danny and Jasmine are doing Tuesday and Thursday?
That's what I'm told.
Will you mention to Jasmine that we do live spots on Thursday?
I feel like that's not my job.
He's got a point.
I was asking him as a friend, like just say, I said in a very nice fashion, would you mention to him or her?
He's not asking for very much.
Just write me a sticky note of what I need to tell, and I will deliver her.
I mean,
the
you
note.
could just say yes and then not do it. I would appreciate that even more.
That's more my style, actually. Yeah, I like it.
And then apparently between now and Friday is New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and stuff. And Blake wants to promote some special stuff that he's worked on.
We have put together a 24-hour video of Dumb Zone highlights that will run on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day live on our YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter page.
How long is it?
24 hours. So I'm going to run it twice.
Okay.
Is that what you're hinting at?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So
I thought the comedy was... Never mind. Go ahead.
24-hour video. We're going to run it on back-to-back days. I've even cut it in half. That way, if you want to tune in at the same...
How long was that?
What?
Go ahead.
I'm not sure what he's doing.
Half of 24. Just never mind. I'm doing a show for myself. Just keep plowing ahead.
I guess what I should have said is I cut it in half and rearranged it, so if you want to tune in at the same time on both days, you will get to see different content.
Oh.
So
you did all that.
Nice job.
Did it.
That's some editing work.
Trying to build to it.
Highly unnecessary, but yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think of the viewer.
Yep.
That maybe you just want to watch it 1:30 both days. Well, you're gonna get two different.
Incredible.
Things going on. So yeah, it was a lot of work. Big shout out to the interns, Michael Snap, Drop Beth helped a little bit. Intern Rachel helped. It was a big team effort, and we got a 24-hour video of good Dumb Zone stuff from 2024. That
Jack didn't help at all?
Jack's more of a day-to-day guy.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It's not a bad thing.
He's our daily intern.
There's a lot of stuff to do day-to-day, which he did most of the load there. But Michael Snap he's been working on this for a couple months. So, yeah, happy to put it out. It'll be fun, and we'll have some live-ish programming on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day if you want.
You said back-to-back days, so that's 48 hours.
Yep, 2 24-hour videos.
Unbelievable.
But the second one is just a little out of order.
He cut it in half.
You cut it in half and then put the front on the back. That way you're...
And where can we find this again?
Internet.
It's our YouTube page, right?
YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, yeah.
Well, there you go.
So
Why
there's
is
that.
it just Fox 4 just airing that
Jake
all
may
day?
be joining us at some point. He is on a little mini family vacation in somewhere in Central Texas. Apparently, this time he took his family, so I don't think he's going to the same place he was at for a month.
That's probably good.
Yeah, it's his phone this
Maybe
time.
maybe he took his family there. Like I've wanted to take my family to Oxnard. Like, hey, this is where I've gone for a week every year for 20 years or whatever. Like, I'd like you to have fish taco and see where I do this or that or where the croute works or whatever. And now, by the way, the calendar caused me a little bit of problems. We have this Dumb Zone calendar, which is available on our website. But my wife didn't know this existed, and then she's leafing through it, and she's like, what is Dan falls in love with Indian lady at gas station?
Darn it.
And it was hard for me to lie to her and say, that's just the guys saying stuff. I didn't really fall in love with some Indian lady, but I did. I ran into her again this weekend. So she's on the phone, as always.
It's redundant.
Right? We've already determined every Indian gas station worker, male or female, is usually on the phone. Male, I would say that guy always has the real overt Bluetooth thing hanging out his ear and always talking at 100 miles an hour. This lady is FaceTiming with someone.
Okay.
And just set the FaceTime another Indian lady down when she had to deal with me. And I just found that really weird because I hate FaceTiming. Like, I feel like everything growing up for me would be depictions of what the future will be. And growing up for me was before the iPhone existed. And so the future, anything, like Back to the Future. You walk inside your house, you press a button, and you take a call on the big screen right there. That's how things will be. Because in the future, everything will be video, and we're going to have video calling. And now that we actually have the ability to video call all the time, we don't really do it a lot. Because we like I think we like the audio medium. We like being able to roll our eyes or just kind of lay here or do the rolling dice thing. You make funny visuals with your friends when your mom is talking to you or something.
I mean, you want to talk on the phone while you're doing other stuff.
Yeah, and you don't want people to see.
You don't want to stare and
because I'm organizing stuff, I'm cleaning up, I'm whatever while I'm talking on the phone. But I think that would be disrespectful if I was doing that and you could see me doing that,
right?
And it makes it look like I'm not paying attention to you, which I half am. KT's doing the news for us today.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone.
Do we have a sponsor for the news? I can't remember.
Let's look.
No sponsor today.
All right. Jimmy Carter died yesterday at the age of 100. Got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was out jogging. No, I'm just kidding.
That's tragic.
He was a bike. He had the yellow thing on, the tights.
He can ride a bike, but Biden can't?
That's right. Well, obviously Jimmy Carter can't either.
Yeah, not anymore. And honestly, no, it's been a while. He's actually been in hospice since early
88?
23, and that's been 2 years, not 88. My whole life, he's been in hospice. No, he the thing that's interesting about this, did y'all see him when they wheeled him out for the eclipse?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was dead then.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a mummy. It was really terrifying.
It does make me question a little bit my desire to live till age 100, but I'm sticking with it. I want to be just like Jimmy Carter. I want you to wheel me out for something.
For what?
Just something. I want you to blow the candles out for me on my 100th birthday and then wipe off my mouth because I'll be drooling.
You want to be that?
Yeah.
Lips chapped.
I want to make the news.
Drooling.
I want to be on the news.
Because you're old?
I want to be the oldest living podcaster.
I want you on the news telling us the secret to getting older.
Yeah. And I'll be like, I have a cigar and a shot of whiskey every day.
Right. No, they're not going to put you on the news because you're going to say salmon and broccoli and no carbs.
Pot.
And okay, that'll get you on the
Gummies.
news. Yeah.
Marijuana gummy.
I hope you're still doing bits at 100. If you said salmon and broccoli, that would not be great. That's not what we sent the person to interview for if we're at the TV station.
Right. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear some weird stuff,
Yeah.
some decadent things.
Crazy sex.
Because you've never heard someone say, "I've just been eating right. I'm very healthy."
Yeah.
And that's why I live to 100.
I go to Pound Town 3 times a day.
It's always something really weird. But I think this story does give us the opportunity, Blake, on today's show, like, because you'll put this on the website or whatever, and oftentimes it'll have a picture associated with it. What about the picture of the Bidens and the Carters?
It's the best thing ever.
Okay.
Dude,
like, anytime we can
make
use that picture. This is probably the last time we can use it.
It's so good.
Until Joe Biden dies, like next week.
I did not realize that Joe Biden was that big.
He's
Or
not.
are the
He's
Carters
not.
small?
He's not.
It's not that?
No.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
just a weird fishbowl lens thing going on.
Jill was huge, too.
They were massive, yeah.
In this little dollhouse.
Yes.
Jimmy and Rosalind in their little chair.
They say you shrink when you get older, though.
Yeah.
I know my mother-in-law looks tinier and tinier every time I see her.
Okay, now I'm pulling up the picture because isn't Joe Biden and Jill, aren't they on a knee?
Yes.
For the anthem?
Yeah.
Just see. What are they on a knee? Dude, that is the craziest photo ever. And Jimmy's leaning into Jill and Rosalind's leaning into Joe like they had a wife swap going on. Oh, it's beautiful. He did an interview with Playboy back in '76. I don't know if you remember this, Dan. Probably not. So,
no.
Jimmy Carter was running against Gerald Ford, and he got asked about this in the debate because Jimmy Carter was very open about his faith and Christianity and all that. But he did an interview with Playboy. And in that interview, this is before, this is on the campaign trail, one thing that he mentioned was not being afraid of dying by assassination. Because I guess that came up a lot in the 70s after, not 10 years after Kennedy got shot in the head. So he's doing the interview, he's talking about that because I believe in God, so I'm not worried about dying by assassination. And then he starts going into detail about his Christianity and talking about sin and redemption. And then he said, quote, that he had committed a lust in his heart. He had committed adultery in his heart many times. So that comes out, and that's all anyone wants to talk about, because if it was something pertaining to sex in that time, I guess it was like a big deal, especially for a presidential candidate.
So he's thinking about having sex with someone that's not my wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said that in the interview, and then he got asked about it like during the debate, and he almost lost the election. Now, he ended up winning by just a skosh over Gerald Ford and I think Bob Dole. But isn't it crazy?
Are you saying like now it could be grabbed him by the pussy audio comes out?
Yeah, right?
And he's like, I once thought about a woman.
Well, was it a foreign concept in 1976 that if you went to tickle the pickle while thinking of someone else, that could lose you an election?
Maybe if you wear religion as your calling card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe just don't talk about it, right? I thought that was kind of funny.
I have loved the internet recently connecting like what Jimmy Carter's been alive for. Like Jimmy Carter got to see both Babe Ruth in person and Hawk Tuah.
In fact, I saw a Babe Ruth related one that Babe Ruth had like 430 home runs during Jimmy Carter's lifetime. No current major league player has 400 that many home runs.
Wow.
No active major league player.
KT, did Jimmy Carter get to witness Pablo Picasso?
Okay, so he's 100, so 1924. I would say no. Are you asking or do you know?
No, I know. This is our bit on the show.
No.
Jimmy Carter was 49 when Picasso died.
Jesus. Wait, Picasso died in the 70s?
73.
Picasso saw The Godfather win the Academy Award. Like he saw the speech.
That's
he saw
crazy.
the Native American lady that came and accepted the award for Marlon Brando. Did you know that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That popped up again because of Killers of the Flower Moon and Lily Gladstone and all that stuff. All right, that's enough. Good job, Jimmy. Break-ins.
He's dead.
All right, so Luca's home got broken into Friday night. $30,000 worth of jewelry stolen, and I can tell you what that was. $4,000 was a necklace. There were 3 earrings worth about $14,000, and then 4 rings worth about $5,000. There's a few more.
Why just 3 earrings?
Yeah, that's just what WFAA got to and reported. So they broke through the back master bedroom, and this happened Friday night, sometime between 5 and 9 p.m., which I'm like, how do we not have security camera footage? The Mavs played at 8 Friday night in Phoenix. No one was home, and Luka was not with the team Friday night because he's hurt.
Yeah, wouldn't you think if you had a Luka mansion, you've got security cameras all over the place?
Ring doorbell.
And mall cops.
Every window, every door.
Yeah. And doesn't he have 2 or 3 Siberian Huskies, too?
Yeah, he's got a few dogs.
Or are they gone, too? I guess maybe they're with the wife when... Because it's also not just the family in these situations. There's other caretakers.
I wonder if they knew it was Luka's house.
Well,
or if they just...
This is where it gets interesting to me, because this is... After that happens, Dallas Morning News reports that Tyler Sagan's home was broken into sometime earlier in the year, before he got hurt. As apparently he's out 4 to 6 months. I don't really follow the Stars until the playoffs. Front runner, yeah, whatever. So that comes out, and then you find out this morning, breaking news: Dak Prescott's fiance or wife, mother of his child and future child, Sarah Ramos. She had tens of thousands of dollars worth of items stolen from her when she went to her Pilates class on Thursday and left the door unlocked in her car. I was like, don't try to lump those stories
So one of these
together.
is not like the other.
Yes. And it's getting lumped in with Luka and Tyler Sagan's. It's like, no, she was just going to Pilates class and it was raining. And
what did she have stolen?
She had, this is kind of weird. So it was designer handbags and wallets from Chanel, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Prada. Also cash and computer software.
What?
Estimated to be about $40,000 in value. It's like a hard drive.
It's a lot of Norton.
Software, yeah. It's not hardware, it's software. So what? I don't know. So she returns to her vehicle after the Pilates class, and she's like, what? But it says in the police report, she said it was raining outside, and due to haste, she forgot to lock her vehicle door.
Oh, no, my Microsoft Word is stolen.
What are we going to do?
I've known dudes who have gotten their car broke into, and they will pump up that official report on, oh, yeah, I had my stereo in there.
Yeah.
I was actually taking it, I just had bought whatever.
I definitely had my iPod stolen one time. Just someone just smashed the window on my car, but I had my iPod up in the tray. This is like 07 when iPods were cool. Although I love an iPod still.
Yeah.
Now,
How about a nice iPod Mini?
But it doesn't.
Did you ever have one of those?
I didn't. I always
Flip
had
it on your jeans.
It didn't carry enough for me. I needed more storage. Because every song I have in my library ever, I want to put it on the iPod and just put it on shuffle and see where the day takes me. That's an adventure for me.
Yeah, I had
too
many bits and production discs, and like I would end up with Techno Bed or News Open.
Yeah,
like I got a lot of that stuff.
Dude, at iHeart they were doing some construction, and there was one room with a production studio that had all of those discs. And I kept telling you, okay, I need to go get all those discs because then someone's just going to throw them out. I kept telling myself to do it. I just never went, got up and went and grabbed them all off the wall. I could have had 60 or 80 or 100 production.
No, I
discs.
have that. Somebody gave an old engineer gave that to me at Cumulus years ago. But I have found that if you use one, YouTube will that is even that bed.
Yeah.
That
fart sound.
TM Century Network bed or whatever is
Because it's like
it's copyright.
It's like the 7 production farts are in there, and they're all used in that one episode of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
It's all the same ones. Now, WFA has a security expert. Didn't know this. His name is Doug Deaton. And if I am a family member of anyone who is rich and famous, Doug Deaton scared the shit out of me. Listen to this. Let me crank.
Holy moly.
Is that because of
Yeah, it is.
Okay, wait.
Just take him off the stage.
Here he goes. Sorry. This is only 13 seconds long.
Go ahead.
They will often follow your family members from stores, from the supermarket, from the mall. The biggest thing that I would advise them to do is to assume they are being observed by professionals, because they are.
They're being followed. If you are an athlete in DFW that has a lot of money, you are being followed. Now, here's what the FBI has said because of all this. This is wild. The FBI, because this also has happened, Mike Conley of the T-Wolves, Bobby Portis of the Bucks had their homes broken into. You might have remembered Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce on back-to-back nights in October. They had a Monday night game against the Saints, and Patrick's got hit the night before. Kelce's got hit the night during the game, the Monday night game. The FBI says these burglaries are connected to a transgender South American theft group. I'm sorry, transnational South American theft group. I apologize.
Transgender
sorry.
South American theft group.
I misread that.
Make them better?
I don't know. It's very confusing.
How would that help their theft skills?
Which half of you is... I mean, they could get into any bathroom.
Transnational.
Oh, okay.
South American.
Okay.
Theft group. That's what the FBI said the NBA ones were. But now we've got some NFL ones, and we've got a hockey one, and Dak's fiance doesn't know how to lock her car.
You would think guys that make $50 million, especially athletes, I would say, because you didn't really work your way in business doing that.
Yeah.
So you're not used to money, perhaps. You're pretty flippant with your, I'm going to buy lots of stuff that just costs a lot and leave it laying around type thing, or have lots of cash lying around. I bet your CEO people don't have that much frivolous. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you have $50 million, you have $50 million, and you just
I think you're right.
Taking a money bath.
I think you're right. I was having to Joe Burrow too recently, but now you can just kind of. Remember you had Ben Baby on 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he was just talking about one of the first things they taught him in journalism school is they teach you how to find people's.
Yeah. Right.
It's like you can kind of find out where all these people lived. I remember this was a Dan Campbell story that was one of his daughter's, high school classmates or whatever, after the Lions lost in the playoffs last year. They were a Snapchat got out. It was like, hey, we're going to throw eggs at their house or whatever. But the kid knew where he lived because he had looked it up. But, I think the family was there at the house at the time. It's just like creepy a little bit if you know where all these rich people live. But there's your break-in news.
Not breaking news.
No, you're breaking...
Break-in news.
Plane crash. This plane was carrying 181 people. Crash landed on its belly yesterday at a South Korean airport. Then it hit a brick wall and exploded. The numbers are kind of insane here. So 181 people on the plane. 175 passengers. 6 crew members. Okay? 175 passengers, 6 crew members. Giving you the 181.
Okay.
Did you guys happen to see video of the crash?
I did, because I believe this was sent to Dan probably a million times.
That's why we're doing it.
Right, because 2 survived?
2 crew members.
Oh, just crew, huh?
Of the percentage there is very low. If 6 out of 181, 2 crew members survived. They were rescued from the tail section.
Gotta sit at the back.
Sit at the back is good.
So, so the video is odd because, yes, you land, but they're screeching along the ground because their landing gear wasn't out or something, but they did actually land, so it's kind of a yay-boo. Like, oh my, when you're up in the air, you would know if you're dying and just falling straight down. Like, but oh no, we're kind of drifting down. And like, oh, okay, we touched ground. Now we're just kind of whenever the momentum stops it. But then, why do you have a brick wall at the end of the runway? That feels like what about a big giant pillow there?
Yeah.
Or if it's got to be something blocking, I don't know. That just seemed like a really weird design thing.
Yeah, Colorado's got the runaway truck ramps where they got the sand and it kind of leads you up.
They
go
up the hill.
They don't have a giant
what if you had a hill?
Yeah. Of sand? Does sand naturally put out fire? I don't know.
Yeah.
They said on these runways...
They pour sand on stuff.
There were runways that could land both ways. So the wall...
That also seems like a pretty bad idea, but I'm not...
So the landing gear did not drop down from underneath. The flaps were not activated for landing on the wings. This was a Boeing plane, by the way. No surprise. The airport also warned about a bird strike. They issued a Mayday alert shortly because, and there's footage on TV. They were airing it on WMBC, and showed one of the engines, bursting into flames in the air. They think a bird hit it, too.
That's all it takes?
So they had a lot of crap going on that plane.
You hit a pigeon and it causes that?
This is the one airport where there are birds in the air?
I think this happens a lot.
I was going to say, it would seem like that's... If anything was going to be in the air, I would think it might be a bird. That's me.
It's one of the few things. That and 181 people. So the pilots were not safe.
We have an addition to the news. You want to join? Welcome in from Central Texas. Are you in Central Texas?
Yeah. I think it would count as that.
It's Jake, everybody.
What to do, boys? Hey, Kevin.
We were all debating earlier. Did you take your family to the place where you stayed most recently down there in Central Texas?
No. We've been here before, but it was a couple of times ago. The place I stayed recently, all booked up.
Oh, okay. For the holidays?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't know if they met Pond Man and...
No, actually, though, dude, the guy that we know that went to the exact same place I did, he just got out about a week ago, and I think we need to have him on.
Okay.
I basically realized that while I don't want to go back to rehab, I want to talk to somebody who just got out of rehab like every month or so for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Like just to hear the stories. Because like I told you guys that every group's got a couple of guys who are really, really stoked on God. Not like, hey, I'm trying to live this way, but you need to live this way too. And I told you guys that there was a water feature where one guy had decided he was going to kill the goldfish there and use them for bait in the stock pond. Well, his God guy decided he was going to do baptisms in that water feature.
The same pond?
Same pond right there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
So what are you guys doing?
KT is doing the news. He's probably wrapping up soon because he has a radio job that he is going to be heading to. So he's going to leave, and then you're going to kind of take over.
I listened to his podcast this morning. Great work, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
Really good stuff.
I don't really do much.
I listened too. My review isn't as bullish, but go ahead.
Yeah, it was good for me, though, because
I thought Machado was on.
Yeah.
I've only watched the first half. I went back and watched the first half this morning. Yesterday, I was in the car, so I was treated to the radio broadcast, and I turned it on, and I was excited to listen, but then suddenly, without knowing, the game was over. And that was a shock to me because the play-by-play guy hadn't mentioned the clock in 40 minutes.
Walk the dog.
So I did hear that the dog was walked a lot, but I didn't know the score.
I guess people aren't criticizing Trey Lance now, are they, after that 2-yard
Yeah.
Get your licks in on Zeke now, folks. I guess Zeke really is washed up. Probably was saying that in Cleveland.
Didn't know where the clock was, but I knew that the haters were being talked to. That's what I gathered from the broadcast.
I mean, 41-7's not too bad. Could have been way worse if they kept Saquon in the game.
You guys take a look at the big stories of 2024.
Which ones?
We're not doing a retrospective here. We're doing like stuff that happened in the last 2 days, like a plane crash of 181 people.
Will it make the Q4 report?
I heard about that. Yeah, it was something Asian, right?
Yeah, something weird.
Right. So it could be India.
Well, no, I don't mean
Japan.
that it's something weird. I just mean that pound for pound, whether it's Asia or, as you said, or India, there are a lot more of them.
People?
Yeah. So
yeah, you would think there'd be more crashes.
Well, also like 181 there is like two guys in Rockwall that crash.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that's not that big of a deal,
right?
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
I didn't know we gave Boeings to other countries.
It's just when they're kind of old.
Yeah, it's kind of old and the landing gear's a little shitty.
Mm-hmm. Boeing
isn't really having a good run.
No,
they're not. They're definitely not having a good run, but I like this idea that Kevin has where these multinational defense and aerospace companies are like, we only sell to Americans. Like the profit would be suffering there, but yeah, we probably do send them to scrapyard planes.
As bad as it's going for Boeing, it's going way worse for the whistleblowers. Just
yeah.
It's like you give your daughter, an old car when she turns 16. You give, the up here above my garage. This is the couch that used to be in my living room, and in South Korea or wherever this that was a Boeing that was going great for us in the 70s. But why don't you use it now? The landing gear isn't that great, but it's fine. You'll land.
It's vintage. Your friends
as long as you don't have a brick wall at the end of your runway, you're going to be
what's
great.
What's that about? Again, I haven't been that on the internet in the past couple of days, but I did see that it sort of slammed into a wall.
Right.
I thought.
Plus, apparently, they have like explosives on the wall as well. That if you just touch it.
Did Bugs Bunny?
Yeah. It's got a TNT Acme.
I did see there's a lot of bird strikes are a common problem for flights, Dan. Since 1988, 76 people in the United States have been killed due to wildlife strikes. That's in the U.S.
Not Sully, though.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
build the whole plane out of Sully's, and you got no problem.
In 2023, I'm gonna round up here. 20,000 wildlife strikes were reported. So
only 67. Well, okay, you said deaths in the U.S. 67.
50.
I don't know how. Yeah.
4 strikes a day. So there are 54 wildlife strikes on planes per day. That seems like we would have more deaths.
You know, the weird thing about it is that I think until Sully, I'd been on planes before that. I don't think until Sully I considered that a bird hitting a plane would be a problem.
I still don't. I feel like Sully did something wrong there.
We figured that out. Yeah.
There's 54 of them a day, and the pilots don't have to like crash land in a river because of it.
Barrel roll.
Yeah, like they're just like, okay, well here I'll just do this because this is what you do. It's just a bird. I'm in a 8,000 pound. What?
It has to be the same of us hitting a squirrel in our car.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Like, and only if you go, whoa! That's when you crash.
Right.
So Sully is like, and then all of a sudden he's in the river, and he's got to be like, make up this backstory of, oh, well, actually, here's what I did. No one else could have done it. You want to buy the movie rights?
Tom Hanks is like, I believe it.
That's right.
Also, though, I said wildlife strikes.
Like deer up there?
Yeah, deer.
Yeah.
The definition is...
you need a deer whistle on the plane.
We have deer, coyotes, and bats also being
the bat
documented.
Coyotes.
Boy, coyotes are everywhere, man.
It's that whole Acme thing.
Really is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. That's why I didn't know if that was a joke.
Yeah. No, it's when they're falling from the big mountain.
Yeah.
I have a wildlife question for you guys, and just whenever, Kevin, if you have to get up and go, I don't really know what the protocol is
Yeah,
here.
I gotta go. I gotta go do
Okay.
FM radio.
Okay, see you, Kevin.
Goodbye, internet.
Great to talk to you.
I love you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
I have a quick wildlife question, if you guys will entertain me in my thoughts here, because I miss you so much.
We do have quick wildlife answers here.
Okay, so we're outside Fredericksburg by about 15 minutes. We are on a property. It is a ranch that has there's a main house where I assume the owners live, and there are 3 or 4 small ranch houses around it. And as such, there are cattle here. This is a wildlife ranch. Not wildlife. It's a cattle ranch. So there are a lot of cows, and they're roaming the property amongst us. There's some donkeys. There are some smaller horses. Do you think, because these are, like any cow, I guess, these are being raised as a product, right? Like their ears are tagged. Am I allowed to feed them like apples or carrots?
Yeah.
I would think yes, but then my thought
you
is
want to
like,
do
okay.
it with your kids, right? That just, you don't want to
Yeah, it
just
wasn't
walk
me.
out there by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we walked up to the fence, and you can walk around and walk right up to them. But they were leaning over the fence, we're petting them, and we just stopped on the way home from breakfast, playground, whatever, and got some apples and carrots. But I'm thinking, like, if I own that animal and I'm taking it to market to get sifted or whatever the term is, do I want some stranger just like, here's a Granny Smith or two? Hopefully that works with whatever you're being raised to be.
Right. We're giving you this specially formulated kibble or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because like in our heads, it's like, oh, it's an apple or carrots. That's
so
what
like
they eat.
the grass-fed
But to them,
beef I might buy, actually, it's fed grass plus whatever Jake felt like giving it.
Yeah, I would.
That's what I'm saying. It's like once
it.
you introduce that, like, oh, I'll just give it something else. Okay, what about Jolly Ranchers? Like, I'm making the decision that apple or carrot is okay.
Right, I don't even know if that is okay.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, so I've got all this produce.
You know the horse across the
it.
street from me?
Yeah.
I was walking the other day eating an apple, as I will do.
Was he going too slow, so you chucked it at him?
Well, I was like looking at it like, can I give the horse the apple core?
Yeah.
Same thing I thought. I was like, do I have to cut it up?
Yeah, so I just did. And I'm not – and, yeah, the next day the horse is just lying on the ground.
Yeah.
He choked on it.
Yeah.
Maybe I wait till the last day we're here.
Yeah. No, I think I'm saying, yeah, go ahead for it. Go for it.
Boy, I wouldn't mess with it.
Blake's different now. Blake is now turning. He's a father. He's like, I don't know about my future. You know, like he's a different guy these days. Used to be full bore, no holds barred, anything goes. Blake, yeah, man.
That's not
Give
the type.
whatever.
That's not the type of person you want to mess with. And if those are probably high priced cattle. And
Cattle ranch guy.
Yeah, you give them your Snickers bar and it throws them off, then that's probably not good.
Blake is a new guy, but he's still never seen a stop sign he respected. And it's an interesting slice of life to stake out as your own, because a guy ran the stop sign in my neighborhood in front of my house yesterday, and I got pissed and then immediately pissed at Blake.
But never at yourself for growing old?
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, kids are playing out there. I have to put one of those.
Well, maybe you should get your
drive
kid out
drive
of the
like your
street.
kids live here.
You know what you have to do? Go to the city council meeting and try to get a speed bump put in your neighborhood.
Oh my gosh,
Be that guy.
What a step in life.
And then Jake was telling me the neighbor's kids were playing on his grass, pissed him off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cloud moved over the sunshine,
put up a
upset
fence.
him. His poinsettias aren't growing.
Want to do some viewer mail birthdays?
Sure.
This is from BL, who says, please give my son, the great Jack Lieber, a birthday shout-out.
Ooh.
His birthday was New Year's Eve, 1999.
Wow. Y2K, baby.
Intern Jack.
More Jack. I think 2025 is going to be a big year for Jack. and me.
I thought it was the year of you.
I can have like a team of. It won't be as big for him as it is me. That's ridiculous.
So it's the year of Jake.
Right.
But it's a big year for Jack.
Yeah, period.
Period. Let's see. Fun fact, we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. Well, that's interesting in this day and age.
Yeah.
Not to know before it pops out.
Yeah, 25 years ago, though, I think it was still, I don't know, probably at least a third of people didn't know.
Let's see. I had rights to the name. If he was a boy, I named him Jack after my childhood idol, hero, greatest third baseman ever, Michael Jack Schmidt. All right.
Did not know that anyone called Mike Schmidt Jack.
So he's named Jack.
I guess he
after
says
Mike Schmidt?
I had rights to the name if he was a boy. So I guess
Oh,
that
okay.
marriage was like BL is going to name if he's a boy. If it's a girl, you get to name it. Huh.
We actually did it the other way because we're progressive. I got girl.
Yeah.
She got boy.
Jefe Dan, this is Pollito from San Antone. Southwest Texas State grad and expert on all things Mexican. Tamales, Los Vaqueros de Dallas, and Salinas. Today is my birthday, but I'm excited about the year of Jake. Only a few days to go. Shout out to my heroes, disciplinarian Blake, line-cutting Jake, and his buddy, L. Eddie. Keep doing what you're doing, Playboy, while I moose my chica. Feliz cumpleaños to me from Pollito. That's another thing. My wife saw my moose hat.
Uh-oh.
And asked me to explain the whole moose thing.
Were you like, all right, bend over?
Yeah. Dear Uncle C-Word Crammer, it's my buddy Hutch's birthday. He smokes cigs outside OTR in Deep Ellum with Jake. His leader is Soroy from DF Brown.
Solid.
Let's see here. Did you delete some birthday shout-outs that were in the company email?
Yeah, I thought you moved them over.
Gosh darn it, I just opened my phone to look for one. It was a correction. Give me the one from Carly.
Okay.
Admiral the Anus, December 26th, is 39 years and 9 months since my parents decided to bone and make me have a birthday the day after Jesus. He turned water into wine, so we know Jake isn't going to hang out with him. My leaders are the cum stain on Jake's lake house table and Blake's brownie points for dumping his kid at the B-team in-laws. More Blake, more Julie, occasional dingu from Jess Walker.
Jess Walker.
I think Jess is a lady.
I think that's dude Jess. I think he was up here.
Is he hot?
I think so. All right, they're back in there.
Cass is hot.
Yeah, because his wife doesn't allow him to order food.
That's true. That's true. By the way, I'll shoehorn this in. Cass's viewer mail on Christmas in the Spotlight, the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift movie that we reviewed, was the most incredible thing. Like, we focused on the 9-time MVP and the stats. He highlighted that there was a lack of voter fatigue.
For a 9-time, yeah, like even right now, if you look at Lamar Jackson versus what's his name, the Bills quarterback,
Josh Allen.
Like, just look at the numbers. Lamar Jackson should win the MVP.
Right.
But I think there is a bit of voter fatigue with that.
Yeah, it happens all the time, but not with
Michael Jordan.
not with
Jordan was the best in the league when Charles Barkley won his MVP.
Sure. Gonzo, too good for voter fatigue.
Also, not good enough for a new contract with his current team.
Look, the pie's only so big. We're not making any more money.
Baron of the Birth Canal. Shout out to my brother John, turns 35 December 30th. Leaders are the Flea Flicker-based offense, Victor McDowell, Burt Reynolds posing naked in Cosmopolitan, and girls with leg braces. P.S. My wife gave birth to our baby on December 19th. Would like to get Jake's take on her name.
Let's go.
Frances Isabel Housewright.
You knocked it out of the mother effing park.
That feels classy. That feels like old school.
A girl, Francis?
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be very common, Blake. Like I have an aunt who's probably, I don't know, almost 70.
Aunt
Francis
Franny?
That's a good name. Yeah, my Aunt Anne Franny.
Aunt Franny. No, I said
Anne Franny.
Oh, yeah, you can go by Franny, Francis. It kind of sounds hefty, but that's okay.
That's
Good
from
name.
Alex Housewright, who left his phone number. I'll call it.
You can call it?
Go ahead. Call Alex. Let's just see what he's got.
Call him after Quincy.
That's in one of these.
You want to call him?
Yeah, go ahead. Dial it up. Let's just see what he's got. Unless you can't call him in the time that I have to read one more email. It is Carly. We know Carly. Hail to my heroes. December 30th is my Vladimir Guerrero birthday or my Eric Dickerson minus Dan Hamhuis on the Stars birthday.
Wow.
Yes, it sucks as bad as you think it does having a birthday this week. I'm now formally your Las Vegas DF. Is it dialing?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it ring. I moved to Florida in November. My claim to fame is seeing the Chappie license plate on his truck one time while driving in Vegas. My leader is Jake's Baths. The world needs more baths.
Guys, I got a big one coming tonight.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Here, let's
the
leave a
person you're
message.
trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
You know how this works.
Hey, Alex. This is Dan here, also a fan of girls with leg braces. Say hi to Alex, Jake.
Hey, what's up, Al?
This is Alex, I believe Guy Alex, because he said his wife had a baby named Frances Isabel Housewright.
I love it.
But
Killed it.
Alex could be a lady with a wife, right?
Could.
Sure.
Let's just imagine that. Wouldn't that be better?
What's up, Alex?
Because aren't all ladies who are with other ladies like really hot if you haven't seen them?
It's plus a point or two.
Yeah. And then they got a kid. I would love to see you raise that kid together, that progressive kid. Anyway, happy birthday to whose birthday was it? Oh, John. Alex's brother, John.
Francis was on the 19th.
The kid's birthday.
The kid was born on the 19th.
Okay. Well,
which probably
whatever.
sucks to have a birthday so close to Christmas.
Yeah.
You should probably get rid of that kid, dude. You know, I believe we're one of the states that you could do post-birth abortion, right?
Yeah, it's first post-birth trimester. You have time, so you get 3 months.
You can do it now before January 20th, right? Before the new, these are the Biden laws are still involved, I believe, and this is what they push for. Right. Anyway, dude, thanks for leaving your phone number on the email. We just thought we'd dial you up and see what's up. We'll talk to you later, man. Carly says call if you ever need an expert on water parks or lifeguards. That's Carly B.
Water parks, is that like a euphemism?
I believe so. Water sports.
Water sports.
Today in history.
Are you ready to wrap this up, Blake, or should I do a regular Today in History?
Let's do it.
Blake's mad you showed up.
That's nothing new to me.
He was about to get out of here.
Yeah, I was going to leave, but it's fine.
Do whatever you want to do.
No, it's a Jake show. Go ahead.
We got some.
Oh, my God.
We got some sit-ins you could say hi to.
Hey!
We have Ann. She brought Bill. We have Jonathan. He brought Travis, or maybe Travis brought Jonathan. That's still, we're not sure about their relationship.
Jonathan brought Travis, and they specifically asked for a Kevin Turner show.
Yeah.
Nice. Whoa, look at that. They got Brews or anything? Little tall boy Monday?
I don't know.
They're probably off work.
Would you like to respond? You can grab that mic and respond to Jake if you want.
No brews, Jake. As a matter of fact, you've given me some inspiration. I know you don't count your days, but today is day 60 for me without drinking alcohol. So I wanted to thank you for the inspiration along the way.
This is a tough spot because I really want to say thank you and I'm happy for you, but I also want to be like, oh, cool, 60, call me when you're this many.
Well, you don't know what this many is.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. Congrats to you.
Travis still drinks, so he could have a tall boy.
So because of Jay, if one of you guys wants to sit in the KT chair, go ahead and throw on the headset.
Just stay as long as you want.
That's right.
We'll keep this thing going. Blake's cool.
So it's Monday, December 30th. This is the 60-day chip day for
That's right.
for Jonathan. So what were you doing? Like, were you hiding alcohol in the car and stuff?
No, not too bad, but
you didn't have to go to rehab.
No, I didn't go the Jake path.
You're not weak.
No, not quite that weak.
Not that weak, yeah.
Although it's strong to admit that you should need to go to rehab.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Strong.
Heroic.
Just tell me what happened today.
On this day in 1907, the Mills Commission issued their final report concluding that Abner Doubleday was the inventor of the sport of baseball.
Was that like an actual government report?
No, it was a report. They had contracted, the Major League Baseball owners contracted somebody to put together a report so they could celebrate baseball. The whole thing was false. It was fake. It was made up. They used Abner Doubleday because he was like a war hero. Doubleday's like, no. Actually, he went along with it for a while. But sports historians know this is ridiculous. I never learned this until I was in a college class called History of Baseball.
Nice.
Which I thought was a blow-off. And I was a big baseball fan. And the professor, the first day we got in, said, you all took this because it was a blow-off. Well, you all have a C right now. And if you do extra work, like beyond what is required, the required reading and the required test and the required papers you have to write, if you go beyond that, you can get it up to a B or an A. But if you just do what's all required, you will have a C. And it
kind of don't hate it.
Made me sad.
It's a good lesson, though. Also, can I just say, I think it was weird,
What was his name?
You know how baseball historians are, usually pretty chill guys.
Well, the thing is, this is when I also realized, and I have his books on the shelf, but I can't find it. He wrote a book on Ty Cobb. He was really stoked on Ty Cobb.
You told us this, yeah.
But I had to buy 2 books written by him. And I was like, wait, what is this scam that professors have going?
I like it.
You want to answer Alex's phone call?
Yeah, sure. Then we'll hang up on him.
Call from
Guy Alex.
Did he cover any of the whole, like,
press 1. To send a voicemail,
violence
press
and all
2.
that stuff? Or?
Ty Cobb had domestic violence? He certainly didn't like black people. I'm pretty aware of that. Anyway, joining us now is Guy Alex.
Hey, Al.
Is Dan McDowell.
Whose brother's birthday is at some point, right? Maybe today?
It was today. Yeah, sure is.
Blake scrambling.
Sweet. How's John doing?
I think he's doing well. I haven't talked to him today, so.
Oh, man.
Stuff happens, but.
Well, send him this. We need some more listeners, you know?
Oh, he's a listener, all right. Are y'all are recording right now?
How's little Franny?
Little Franny's good.
Are we going Franny?
Just don't. No, do not call her Franny in front of my wife. That could cause a problem.
It's going to happen, though, dude.
It's already happening.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to avoid it. Like a high school girlfriend of mine was Franny.
And how'd that end?
She dumped me and I cried and stuff. She was going to college and I was like, yeah, but we could visit each other. And then she didn't. She's like, nah, that's all right.
You left me a voicemail a second ago.
I did?
And you spoke to Jake.
Oh, he's here. No, we're recording. We're doing the show.
I can't hear him,
Jake's
though.
There?
Oh,
So,
Jake can't hear you for some reason. The connection we have going.
Well,
here.
what's
Just know I love you, Al.
Jake's take on Francis Isabel Housewright? Yay or nay? Like out of 5 stars, what's he thinking?
I think he gave it a 5.
Yeah, he liked it.
All right.
And how about you just find that out later when you listen?
All right, I will.
All right.
Is this going to be on there?
Not looking good.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Blake's
maybe
ready.
not the best choice for you guys.
Blake's ready to delete you now. But no.
All right. I love you guys.
All right. Thanks, bro.
Hi, Alex.
Later.
Bye.
Come say hi. Just talking to the microphone.
Hi.
Can she hear us?
No.
Okay.
Hi.
There's Mr. Dan. There you go. I'll
Can
be in
she
a
see
minute.
my hand? There you go.
There you go.
Horns down. That's right.
Hey, whoa.
Got to raise her right.
Yeah.
On this day in 1978, Ohio State University fired Woody Hayes, their coach, one day after he punched a Clemson University player during the Gator Bowl after the nose tackle intercepted an Art Schlichter pass. Art Schlichter would end up going to prison for gambling.
Yeah, I see that video every year, including this morning, and it shocks me every time. And I feel like when you watch it, everyone else, their shock is the best part. Like, holy shit, this old guy just punched him.
This is the day in 2002 that the Cowboys fired head coach Dave Campo.
Oh, man, what a cucking. Because didn't they, he was kind of there and gave, a goodbye press conference, here comes Tuna.
Oh, yeah.
That was weird.
Then he came back.
He did.
Kind of like Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph is the DC for Denver. Did you guys know that?
Did. Yeah. Bit of an NFL guy myself.
Yeah. On this day in 2012, recalling that the shooting rampage that killed 20 first graders in Connecticut was the worst day of his presidency, President Barack Obama pledged on NBC's Meet the Press to put his full weight behind legislation aimed at preventing gun violence. And there's no gun violence today. It actually all worked in the end.
Thing is, not a heavy guy. Kind of a weight. So
he also he ended racism and gun violence, all in 2 terms. This is the day that Bill Cosby was charged with drugging and sexually assaulting a woman at his suburban Philadelphia home in 2004. He had a trial end in mistrial. Then he was convicted and sentenced to prison. And then the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, overturned that conviction. And Cosby is now out walking around doing stuff.
So I may have this wrong, but everyone always talks about Ronan Farrow and Harvey Weinstein and Alyssa Milano as being the start of Me Too. Wasn't it actually Hannibal Buress on Bill Cosby?
That's what some people think.
I think that was before then. That he just was in Philadelphia, and a couple months later, much like Cash Me Outside Girl, the video clip took off. Anyways, apparently not that interesting of an observation.
When Burris' stand-up joke went viral, dozens of women started to come forward.
I swear that was before Weinstein.
And then Ronan Farrow and everybody else.
Yeah, Burris' joke was in 2014, which feels like...
Yeah.
Trying to keep the black man down there. Give credit to the white guy. Which I support.
Sure.
Did I mention that this whole segment's going to be brought to you by Fair Lease?
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
No, you didn't.
Give him a quick plug,
You did
will
not?
you? Fairlease.org, is it?
Yeah, Fair Lease Navidad.
Navidad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where...
We're about out of that now. We can't do that forever.
Well, I love it.
Just give the main points.
Yeah, fairlease.org. Call our guy Danny. Save money. Leasing costs less than buying, so pay only for the lease amount, not the whole car. Top market value for your trade-in if you have one. If not, just flexible leasing terms, 36 to 60 months.
Even if you plan on keeping the vehicle, leasing might still be for you.
It sure can. Drive now and pay later, am I right? Fairlease.org. Thank you, Fairlease.
And on this day in 2020, Becky Hammon of the Spurs made history, the first woman to coach an NBA regular season game because she filled in for Greg Popovich after he was ejected during a game against the Lakers.
Aces, baby.
And now there is equality, gender equality in sports as well. It's so great, all the stuff that we've seen happen. Today's birthdays, big debate over who should be mentioned first. Of course, you like to mention the most important name first. But we have 2 names to give you on this day. Tiger Woods, 49.
It's going to be hard to beat.
Hey, It's my birthday.
LeBron James, 40.
Oh, my God. You know, Dan, a lot of people don't know this. Born in the same hospital in Akron, Ohio.
No, that's Steph Curry.
Oh. Dude, you know, I like, this is a really weird thing, but I like thinking about Charlie Woods. Like, I can see a world where I'm telling my son, I saw this kid when he was 12. Like, isn't the chalk that he becomes a major winner?
I mean, I wonder, because certainly he is not being raised by a tyrant.
Are you sure?
I'm not.
That's the thing, is that just because they have money, I still think Tiger probably lets him have a little more fun, but I bet you he still stays on his ass, even if it's from across the world. I mean, he's good already.
Would you think it was, like, sweet if you knew your dad, while you were a baby, was, like, banging the waitress and everybody he could get his hand on?
I mean, he's going to know sometime. I think you'd rather that than know your mom was, like, involved with 101 guys in one day.
Yeah.
You had to pick.
Right, yeah, no. The guy involved with 101 girls, it's like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Which is the way society should be set up. Sandy Koufax is still alive. He's 89.
Wow.
Carson Wentz, 32.
Almost had an MVP Super Bowl winning year.
We were talking about Doug Peterson earlier. How? It was against Brady and Belichick, too. Their starting quarterback is out. Their starting left tackle was hurt for the year. And Doug Peterson is, like, thought of as a joke coach right now. Like, how? How did that happen?
Yeah. I don't know. That was a really good team.
Former Cowboy Mel Renfro is 83. Kerry Collins, 52.
Man.
Panther.
A.J. Przinsky is 48. Did you have some Kerry Collins something to add?
No, that was a
you got wistful.
Pretty fun Giants team, I think, when they had Tiki and was it Amani Toomer, Jake?
Yes. I believe so.
Team.
Meredith Vieira, 71.
Our man of leisure.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's met Dez and Meredith Vieira.
Tracy Ullman, 65.
What's her bit? Like, it was a late night show?
She was a primetime sketch comedy show that first debuted The Simpsons.
Ah, there it is.
It was like on Fox, and one of the shorts was The Simpsons.
Got it.
And then she was recently on the last season of Curb, I believe, or last couple seasons. Boxer Layla Ali is 47. Singer Tyrese Gibson is 46.
Wow. Fast and Furious.
And this one, I wasn't going to mention this if you hadn't showed up, Jake.
Okay.
But tell me why I am mentioning this name. We will end with former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is 61.
My guess is because when you go to a Commanders game, he might be a guy you could be there, see, and be seen. But is there something I'm missing?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, Mike Pompeo.
He's right there
Trump.
in the. He's just out in the stands with. He's just a regular fan. You never know who you're going to see here.
Is it Donald Rumsfeld? Is that Leon Panetta? I knew him and Leon were hanging out again.
Born on this Day Now Dead, Davy Jones and Michael Nesmith. Blake, why is that really weird that both of those guys are born on this day now dead?
I don't know, Dan.
Ann, do you know? She said monkeys.
They both died on the same day? Were
You know
they
what
a
that
fake
means?
band?
Yeah, they were a fake band.
Yes.
The Monkeys.
Hey, we're the Monkeys.
Yeah,
do you
both born on the same day.
What do you mean fake band?
It was kind of like, I suppose, like One Direction or something.
No.
Yeah, it was TV producers put them together to make a TV show.
But
So
they
had
made the
auditions.
TV show the primary thing, right?
Right. They had auditions to put them together.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of
they're
the
going to
same.
create
but-
a TV show called The Monkees. It's going to be 4 guys that do a band. They play songs and stuff.
Okay, because I've heard
Do
songs
you-
by them.
It would be closer.
They got good songs.
Yeah.
Blake, it would be closer to making the band.
Okay.
But it's
Run
a
that show.
contrived.
But yeah, it's yeah, okay.
Died on this day, still dead. Tell Chappie about this. We were just looking at the calendar earlier. He's the centerfold
Yeah.
in the calendar.
Right. He's very proud.
Died on this day in 1950. Arthur Davidson, the co-founder of Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson. Wow. You know, you can ride to live, you can live to ride. Either way.
Died
You're
in a
riding.
car crash.
Ironic.
And they say it's dangerous to ride motorcycles.
He wasn't wearing a helmet though.
No, he wasn't.
In his car.
And 1950 cars, do you think they were pretty safe? This day in 1999, Sarah Naus, listed as the Guinness Book of World Records, the oldest person ever, with a verifiable date of birth. She was 119 years old.
You wouldn't want to be 119.
I might be able to do it.
Oh, you think
I was
so?
saying I need to live to 100 like Jimmy Carter, as you know I want to do, Jake, but I want Blake to be blowing out my candles that day. He has vowed that he would
Okay.
do it, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Died on this day in 2006, Saddam Hussein.
Man.
2020,
time.
Dawn Wells. She
Who's
was
that?
Marianne on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, that's sick reference, yeah.
The non-whore. Right? Isn't that the housewifey type? You've never watched Gilligan's Island, Jake?
I mean, I've seen. You
know who it
used
is,
to be
right?
a Nick at Night type staple.
How about you?
I've seen my wife watch it a couple of times, but I think my main takeaway was one of them was a pretty big whore.
Yeah,
and that's it.
My favorite was the guy who was like, "Boss, deplane."
And died on this day in 2022, Barbara Walters.
Damn, I think she had like exceptional cans. Look it up.
That was today in history.
And an amazing journalistic career.
We would do closing remarks. We're going to say closing remarks brought to you by Frankel & Frankel Personal Injury Attorneys. If you get into an accident, that's no good. But hey, if there's somebody else at fault and you need to not deal with the insurance companies and you need somebody who can fight for your rights, Frankel & Frankel at, and what's their number? 214? Do you know? Ann doesn't know. That's why we say this over and over. Everybody else is
threes in
putting
the
up
air.
threes. Yes, threes in the air. All threes. 214 or 817-333-3333. Just put it in your phone. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't even need to program it. You're going to know it by heart after we say it over and over again. So thanks to Frankel & Frankel for being a great sponsor and for bringing you today's closing remarks. And, just bringing you all kinds of things.
Love that about them.
Do we have it? Now, Ann doesn't want to make closing remarks, Jake. Ann showed up. Ann brought Eatsies.
Oh, classic Ann.
Oh, you brought. She
yeah.
brought Nora a gift. She says, but she will not go on the mic to say anything about it. Did you
That's
want to
fair.
grab a mic,
Sure.
Bill, or no? You're also
No.
going to pass. Okay. Do you guys read Reddit? Okay,
No.
they're going to be fans of you because Reddit does not like when people talk that aren't Dan, Jake, and Blake. And who can blame
That's
them?
debatable.
Who
Yeah.
can blame
Oh,
them?
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan. What's up?
Hey.
Oh, and Jonathan's here.
Yeah. And I don't
J-Bone.
care what they say about on Reddit.
There you go.
So, really thankful to Frankel & Frankel for giving me the opportunity to have some closing remarks
There we go.
today. So Jake stole a little bit of my thunder earlier, but just the impact that you guys have is a lot greater than just the entertainment value that you have for a couple hours on a podcast. I'm a day 2 ticket P1, and that was 8th grade for me. So the people that I got to know through the ticket, like you, Dan, and Blake and Jake and so many others, have had a pretty profound impact on me, just beyond just the entertainment value. So for my brother and I, we don't live very close to each other. We only see each other a couple times a year, so this is one of those. But
I wasn't aware this was your brother.
Yeah, this is my brother.
Okay, I thought you were just bros. Like friends.
We're bros, and we're bros.
And did you want to grab the mic? Go ahead. But he brought us gifts.
So the new format that you guys have, where it's a podcast, I get to hear you a lot more often because it's on demand for me instead of having to be at a certain time during the day, and it gives. And
do you feel pressure to listen then?
No.
Okay, because some people have indicated it's like the DVR filling up. Like, oh man, I got so much, I gotta, it's like too much. Like if you miss one, you're fine. You'll just go to the next one.
Yeah,
okay.
But it can fill in at any time for me.
Yeah.
So if I want to listen to you guys while I'm working out, I can. If I've got to be in the car a long time, I can listen to you then.
Okay.
The invention of the AirPods makes it where I can actually listen to you if kids are in the car. So that's helpful. But
Jake's an AirPod guy now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, it gives Travis and I something to kind of talk about. And, hey, did you hear this? And I don't know. You had a pretty good, birthday name for Dan. I don't know if you were going to bring that to this episode.
I'm trying to remember what it was. Something.
Roast beef.
Oh, roast beef curtains. That was it. Yeah, Uncle Roast Beef Curtains.
It was pretty shocking whenever I saw that one come across on the text, but I thought it was powerful.
And we did bring you guys a few things. Dan's got kind of a mixed gift right there to few things he really enjoys representing.
These aren't all for me, are they?
Well, one for each of you.
Oh, okay. That's
I know.
3 hats.
Yeah, Jake really likes The Boys, both the TV show and the football team. That was kind of the thought there.
Dual bit hat, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Blake smelled the other gift on my way up the stairs, so I'll just go ahead and give that to you now.
Oh, wow, you weren't kidding. That's terrific.
What is it?
Some stuff.
Some souvenirs from Colorado.
We talked earlier, yeah. These guys one of them at least Travis lives in Colorado, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the smelt it on my way up was a dead giveaway.
Okay, I don't, yeah. Did you bring a salmon or what?
He did. He brought salmon.
Okay. Like they're on the hook. There's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Somehow hit them back there.
He Jake's refrigerated. Heat it up in the microwave whenever he's back.
All right, I'm an idiot.
We guys just made my day.
Yeah, I'm glad you were here for it.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
Anything else you want to say, Jake?
Or Travis,
Cowboys? Yeah, or the guests.
This is when you say. So this has been great.
Oh yeah, so this has been fun.
Did you watch all of the game, knowing that you didn't have to come on and do the show today?
No, I mean, I'm halfway through, like I was saying. I watched the first half this morning. Pam Oliver, tip-top form.
Dude, I had we played a lot of Pam Oliver today.
I would imagine so.
So I had as you know, it was a little bit business Sunday yesterday. I had a call at like halftime.
Mm-hmm.
And I explicitly told the guy, I didn't say, I don't want to know the score. But I said, and then we ended up talking for like an hour or more. But I said, oh, yeah. He's like, oh, you have to go watch this game, huh? Because he knows what we do. And I'm like, yeah. It's okay. It's watching sports. It's not that hard. But, I did pause it. I paused it at halftime. I was watching it live, and then I paused it at halftime to make this call. And he goes, yeah. Man, they're down 41-7 now. I'm like, at least I could have enjoyed a little bit of the third quarter, not knowing that.
You thought Cooper Rush would?
Who knows? I don't know. There could have been another pick six the other way. I mean, you're facing Kenny Pickett. And it's Micah
Baby
Parsons,
hands.
and Blake said he had to wear gloves because his hands were so tiny. Because I was questioning why is he wearing gloves.
Yeah, no, we got a game next Sunday. Wrap things up. We'll have a show Friday, a mega long show. So that's all I got.
Well, this has been fun.
It has been, Blake.
All right.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.